Naruto God Level System, Chapter 381-400. Chapter 381 Impure World Reincarnation. Orochimaru, today I will make up for my past mistakes. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes flashed with a trace of hatred. Orochimaru and Rasa attacked together, and the outside didn't know what the chaos was going to look like. Originally, Konoha was not as good as before, and now it is even worse. Sarutobi Hiruzen felt uncomfortable when he thought that this was all the result of his single thought. Even if he can't deal with Orochimaru, but once he just didn't kill Orochimaru, it's fine to arrest him. Why should he let him go soft-heartedly, so as to cause such a disaster to Konoha? Sarutobi Hiruzen regretted in his heart, but unfortunately there is no regret medicine in this world. Even if there is regret medicine, it is not something Sarutobi Hiruzen can afford. It's useless to say so much, let's decide on strength. Orochimaru spat out a sword and stabbed Sarutobi Hiruzen. This sword is the artifact Kusanagi sword. It has the ability to stretch, and it is hard and sharp. Ordinary things can't stop the edge of the Kusanagi sword. Sarutobi Hiruzen naturally did not dare to resist the Kusanagi sword with his flesh and blood, and immediately used the blinking technique to evade Orochimaru's sudden attack. It seems that you have a quick response, teacher, and time has not completely corrupted you. Orochimaru grinned. It's not like you. In order to pursue eternal life, the people who make yourself are not ghosts or ghosts, alas. It's just that I didn't teach you well at the beginning. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't tell if it was sadness or regret, but he was really sad for not being able to lead Orochimaru to the right path. This is also his teacher incompetence. Spirituality Ape Demon. Orochimaru. The ape demon was stunned after coming out. Sarutobi, I told you at the beginning, don't let Orochimaru go. You have to take into account the relationship between master and apprentice, and now it's causing a big disaster. The ape demon complained to Sarutobi Hiruzen that although it does not know the specific situation, it can roughly guess the current situation. Don't talk about ape demons, prepare to fight. This time I will definitely make up for the mistakes I made before. Sarutobi Hiruzen said seriously. Hope it, Ape Demon said helplessly. Who knows whether Sarutobi Hiruzen will be soft-hearted in the end. It's just a psychic beast of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and it depends on Sarutobi Hiruzen's own decision, he can just fight. The Ape Demon turned into a King Kong Rui stick. He has the indestructible body of the King Kong. The transformed King Kong Rui stick is extremely hard, and even the Kusanagi sword cannot hurt it. Orochimaru and Sarutobi Hiruzen were fighting, and the Anbu ninjas outside were rushing around, but there was a barrier blocking them, and they couldn't get in at all. Those trying to get in have been burned to ashes. Sarutobi Hiruzen is indeed old, but he still has the upper hand in the face of Orochimaru. Orochimaru, what you have learned is taught by me, and today I will take back what you have learned. Sarutobi Hiruzen knocked Orochimaru out with a single blow. And Orochimaru also showed Sarutobi Hiruzen his serpent-style double, although it looks disgusting, but the effect is very good. Sensei Sarutobi, I'll show you a good thing. Orochimaru smiled weirdly, and the two coffins rose from the ground. There are only two coffins, and no third. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the strangely raised coffin, and had a bad premonition in his heart. When the coffin was completely raised, the two figures inside came out. Looking at the two figures, Sarutobi Hiruzen's pupils shrank suddenly. The first-generation Hokage and the second-generation Hokage, he couldn't be more familiar with it. Sarutobi-sensei, you should be satisfied now, Orochimaru said with a smile. Orochimaru, you actually learn the Konoha forbidden technique secretly and play with the soul of the dead. Sarutobi Hiruzen said indignantly. Little monkey, are you dead too? The second Hokage Senju Tobirama opened his eyes and looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen and asked suspiciously. No, the little monkey is completely different from us. He should not be dead. We should have been channeled. They are all ninjutsu you studied. At the beginning, I said that these forbidden techniques are harmful. Senju Hashirama reprimanded. Senju Tobirama looked at himself, only to notice the difference, and then looked at Orochimaru with a cold glow in his eyes. "Little one, you called us out?" Senju Hashirama asked Orochimaru. "Big brother, this guy is probably the enemy," Senju Tobirama said helplessly. Senju Hashirama smiled, then asked Sarutobi Hiruzen, "Little monkey, is Konoha like this now?" "He is dead and doesn't want to care about the world of the living, but Konoha is the only thing in his heart." It can be said that Konoha is Senju Hashirama's obsession. Sarutobi Hiruzen face Yuhi. Being called a little monkey makes him feel a little ashamed. When Sarutobi Hiruzen was about to say something, Orochimaru shot, "This is not the time for you to chat." Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama were wiped out of their will and controlled by Orochimaru. Although this would not be able to exert their original strength, it was the only way to allow them to take action. "Orochimaru, you better take care of yourself, my dear teacher." Orochimaru interrupted Sarutobi Hiruzen's angry words. Under Orochimaru's control, Senju Hashirama and Senju Tobirama attack Sarutobi Hiruzen. However, Orochimaru's impure world reincarnation has not been thoroughly studied, and its strength cannot be exerted too much. Facing the attacks of the first and second generations, Sarutobi Hiruzen was able to do it with ease, and even counterattacked a group of awesome Anbu ninja looked dumbly outside. Their 3 generations of Hokage are really powerful. One person can play the first and second generations. It is indeed the strongest Hokage. All right. In fact, if the first and second generations show their full strength, they can hang up Sarutobi Hiruzen and fight. "Don't be stunned, I can't help you here now. Hurry up and deal with Tsunagakure and Otogakure, and leave it to the 3 generations of Hokage to solve it yourself," Kakashi said in a blink of an eye. Anbu ninja nodded. It was useless for them to watch here. Even if they saw that the 3rd generation of Hokage was in danger, they could only watch and couldn't help at all. Might as well kill those bastards like Tsunagakure and Otogakure. The combination of Tsunagakure and Otogakure only caught Konoha by surprise. This is the base camp of Konoha. Although all the elites who came from Tsunagakure, there were not enough people, and now Konoha reacted, and a steady stream of Konoha ninjas came. Coupled with Jiraiya's toads restraining the serpents, Konoha's situation eased and a counteroffensive began. In the battle between Rasa and Jiraiya, Rasa originally thought that it would not be difficult for him to take down Jiraiya, but he did not expect that he thought too much of himself. Against Jiraiya, Rasa was no match at all, and it was difficult to even hold on without losing. This is also because Jiraiya does not use Sage Mode. Otherwise, with the increase of Sage Mode, Rasa can definitely be hanged. Damn, am I being fooled by Orochimaru? Is it really possible for Konoha to collapse just because of this? Rasa groaned inwardly. Overwhelmed by greed, he should not have promised Orochimaru in the first place, and Rasa now regrets it. Chapter 382 Rasa dies. Tsunagakure is actually doing things in Konoha village. Is there something wrong? Izumi said incomprehensibly. Is Tsunagakure village's brain broken? How many ninjas came to Tsunagakure village, and they dared to look for trouble in Konoha village? Isn't this just looking for death? It may be that Rasa's brain circuit is abnormal. Hyuga Chen said with a smile. If the brain circuit was normal, he wouldn't play this Konoha crash plan with Orochimaru. Orochimaru never thought that Konoha would collapse. Rasa was completely fooled and couldn't find Bay. Or is it blinded by the immediate interests? Other side, Uchiha Sasuke went to chase after Gaara, but after chasing for a long time, he was overturned by Gaara. Fortunately, his good friend Uzumaki Naruto rushed over. Gaara and Uzumaki Naruto fought. At this time, the aura of Uzumaki Naruto's protagonist broke out, channeling Wentai, who was killing the big snake summoned by Orochimaru in the distance. Fight with Gaara, who used the art of false sleep to release Shukaku, but Todbunta is really not the opponent of the tailed beast. Although the size is not much different, but the strength is very different. Fortunately, the aura of the protagonist of Uzumaki Naruto broke out again, using the power of Kyubi, Ninetales relying on the burst of Kyubi, Ninetales chakra from 763, to defeat the tailed beast Shukaku. Then, with a friendly punch, he woke up Gaara and performed a brainwashing technique to cleanse Gaara's brain. Surrender Rasa. The people of Otogakur village have already started to retreat. Your Sunagakur village was deceived by Orochimaru, and it's too late to surrender now. Jiraiya said seriously. Damn Otogakur village, I must destroy you, Orochimaru, wait for me, Rasa yelled. Because of the retreat of Otogakur village, all the burden is on Sunagakur village, although Sunagakur village's ninjas are all elite. But here is Konoha. No matter the number or strength of ninjas, they are many times stronger than the ninjas in Sunagakur village. Looking at Jiraiya, Rasa knew that surrender was the best option. But his dignity did not allow it, so he surrendered like this. Isn't Rasa shameful and thrown to other countries? When they mention Rasa, they'll think of him being played around by Orochimaru, and eventually surrendering to Konoha and apologizing. This time is different from the original. Rasa is dead in the original. Sunagakur village can still find a reason to say that they were deceived by Orochimaru, and now Rasa is still alive. How to explain this? So Konoha will never let Sunagakur village easily like the original. Even if they do surrender, their Sunagakur village will definitely lose a layer of skin. Taking the meat from Sunagakur village, if a layer of skin is peeled off, there will be no meat, and only bones will be left. Both sides are dead, and Rasa decides not to surrender. Jidon Magnet style, Gold Dust Imperial Funeral. Damn Rasa, don't repent. Jiraiya hurriedly avoided, and he didn't dare to take Rasa's moves easily. Konoha is so messed up. Where's that old Danzo thing? Jiraiya growled angrily. Konoha wouldn't have lost as much if Danzo had a shot. In fact, Danzo is hiding in the dark, but he will definitely not shoot. He is still thinking about the fisherman's prophet. Danzo is still looking forward to Sarutobi Hiruzen's death, and then he will stand up as a savior. Wouldn't he have a chance to become Hokage? Little Juju Jiraiya in Danzo's heart is not clear, but it can be roughly guessed. Danzo has absolutely no good intentions in his heart. Kaden Fire Style, Big Flame Bullet. Jiraiya can't care about Danzo's business now. This matter can be discussed later. It's the most important thing to deal with Rasa first. Rasa's ninjutsu range is very large, and the damage to Konoha is also very large. Since he is stubborn, he can only be defeated or killed. Shield of Gold Dust. Rasa manipulated gold dust to form a shield, blocking the big flame bullet, and his shield of gold dust was also melted. The art of messy lion hair. Rasa didn't pay attention, and was entangled by Jiraiya's messy lion hair technique, and his body was entangled with great strength. If Rasa hadn't placed a layer of gold dust on his body, he would have been chopped up now. Jiraiya took the opportunity to channel the immortal Fukasaku and immortal Zima, and then the three used Sage Mode together. Senpo, Sage Art Gomon. Jiraiya and the two sages use a combination of Sage Art, Jiraiya with Oil, Fukakusen with Futon, Wind Style, Shima with Kaden, Fire Style, a combination of three techniques release. The powerful combination Sage Art can be said to be the strongest ninjutsu of Jiraiya and the two great immortals, and can devour everything. Just as Rasa broke free of Jiraiya's hair, she saw the oncoming oil rolling in. If she was hit, Rasa might not even have slag left. Gold Dust Defense. Rasa used dust gold to form a huge gold dust wall in front of him. Rasa didn't want to be able to block it, but just wanted to buy a little time. The gold dust defense did buy him less than a second, but it was enough, and Rasa took the opportunity to get out of range. Damn, it actually failed, said Immortal Zima. Little Jiraiya, who the hell is he? Isn't this Konoha? What the hell is going on? Fukasaku asked. Now is not the time to explain. I will explain to the two immortals after the enemy is resolved. Jiraiya looked at Rasa seriously. In fact, Rasa can become Kazekage, and his strength is not as weak as he imagined. After all, he is also someone who can suppress Aikyo Shukaku. Okay, let's talk about it later. Immortal Fukasaku nodded. Jiraiya instantly approached Rasa, condensed Rasengan in her hand, and hit Rasa in the head. Because of Sage Mode, now Jiraiya's speed is terrifying. Rasa can only reluctantly use Placer for defense. Next, Rasa entered the beating mode, and there was no chance to fight back at all. Sage Mode can enhance its all-round strength. Originally, Jiraiya was stronger than Rasa, but now it is properly hanged. Senpo, Sage Art Super Big Ball Rasengan. The huge Rasengan smashed Rasa's defense and hit Rasa's body. Even if Rasa reacted in time, he was also smashed by a hand. Cold sweat broke out on Rasa's forehead, and his dignity as cage prevented him from screaming, and could only endure the pain. Advantage of the victorious pursuit, Jiraiya could not continue to maintain Sage Mode, and once again cooperated with the two immortals of Mount Myoboku, using Senpo, Sage Art Gomon. This time Rasa was unable to escape, and was burned through a large hole. Looking at the big hole in his body, Rasa's face was unwilling, and his heart was burned. It's good that he can still breathe a sigh of relief now. But in an instant, the breath disappeared, and he fell to the ground weakly, his eyes widened, and he couldn't rest his eyes. After Rasa's death, Jiraiya sits on the ground at once and immediately disarms Sage Mode. When using Sage Mode, I will not feel any fatigue, but I am very energetic, but after Sage Mode is over, I can only say that I am really tired. Cage is dead, I'm afraid the follow-up will be a bit troublesome. Jiraiya shook his head with a wry smile, but even if Jiraiya was given another chance to start over, he would still kill Rasa without hesitation. Because at this time, Jiraiya has no other choice, who will let Rasa not surrender. Chapter 383 The Death of Three Generations. Little Jiraiya, are you saying that was Cage just now? Fukasaku asked. Yes, he is the fourth generation Cage Rasa, who attacked Konoha with Orochimaru, and now it is his own fault for his death, but between Konoha and Sunagaku's. Jiraiya sighed, whether it was Sunagaku's fault or not, the 4 generations of Cage Rasa died in their Konoha, maybe Konoha would go to war with Sunagaku. Although the 4th generation of Cage is dead, Sunagaku village is not alone. Chiyo and Ebizo are still alive. Even if they are not as strong as before, they are still not to be underestimated. And once the war starts, it's not just a matter of their 2 villages. Rasa died, and the ninjas of Sunagaku village panicked instantly, and led by the elite Jonin, Maki, retreated with Rasa's body. If I don't retreat now, I'm afraid I will stay here even with my life. As for revenge for the 4th generation of Cage, it also has the strength of revenge. Staying here will just wipe out the whole army. In the 4 purple flame formation, Sarutobi Hiruzen was out of breath and was about to lose his hold. Sarutobi Hiruzen was old after all, and facing the attack of 3 people at the same time, he definitely couldn't hold on for too long. Sarutobi-sensei, you are getting old. Rather than dying slowly, it's better for me as a disciple to give you a ride. Die under the siege of the first Hokage and the second Hokage, and it will not humiliate you. Orochimaru said softly. Orochimaru, even if I die, I will make up for my past mistakes. Sarutobi Hiruzen's short body stood upright at this moment. Do you hate me so much? Orochimaru smiled, then his face was cold and his eyes were cold, full of killing intent. Goodbye, teacher. Alas, Orochimaru, don't blame me. Sarutobi Hiruzen sighed, then turned serious. Sarutobi, who are you? The ape demon turned back, looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, a feeling of ill will arise in his heart. Ape demon, go back. Teacher Ni, offended. The ghoul seal. When Orochimaru saw the seal of the Sarutobi Hiruzen knot, he immediately felt bad. Now he is very familiar with the seal of the Sarutobi Hiruzen knot, and Orochimaru, the ghoul seal, has also seen it. Just that Orochimaru didn't learn it. He, a man who pursues immortality, can't learn this kind of art that perishes with the enemy. Interrupt him. Orochimaru suddenly panicked, but it was too late. Sarutobi Hirazen's sealing technique was also released. Sarutobi Hirazen used 2 shadow clone to seal the first and second generations, and the body sealed Orochimaru. However, Orochimaru took the opportunity to control the Kusanagi sword and severely damaged Sarutobi Hirazen. Because of the heavy injury, Sarutobi Hirazen finally only sealed Orochimaru's arms, abolishing Orochimaru's arms, so that he could no longer use ninjutsu. Orochimaru's face was ugly. He glanced at Sarutobi Hirazen angrily, and then was led away by Otogaku's group of 4. Sarutobi Hirazen fell to the ground, lost forever. Jiraiya stood up and looked at the fallen Sarutobi Hirazen, speechless. He did not expect this outcome in the end. Old man, you. Tears flowed from Jiraiya's eyes, which were immediately wiped away. 3 generations of Hokage died. Was that the god of death just now? Izumi asked Hyuga-chen. It was indeed the god of death just now, and it has something to do with the 6 paths immortal, or the god of death was created by the immortal 6 paths. Hyuga-chen felt the chakra aura of the immortal 6 paths from the god of death. Let's go back. After everything was over, Hyuga-chen and the others had nothing to watch while sitting here. Returning to the Hyuga family, I found that his small yard was destroyed. It must have been destroyed by Orochimaru's snakes, and I must catch some snakes to eat the meat another day. Forget it, follow me to my house. Hyuga-chen took everyone away, and now the Hyuga family has been destroyed beyond recognition. The Hyuga family is close to the center of Konoha and is the focus of Orochimaru's care. Those big snakes are huge, and the Hyuga people have not been able to stop the group of beasts. However, it can also show that the Hyuga people are so veggies that they didn't even block a few snakes from Orochimaru. Hyuga Hiyashi will probably be very angry when he sees the current scene. Brought Izumi, Hinata and the others to the previous ninja shop, which is no longer a ninja shop, but it hasn't been destroyed. If this place is also destroyed, Hyuga-chen will definitely kill Orochimaru, who has not escaped from Konoha with a thunderbolt. You guys stay here for now. Konoha may be chaotic for the next few days, Hyuga-chen said. Hearing the words, the girls nodded heavily. Now Konoha is really messed up, and the snakes summoned by Orochimaru are all big. Combined with the toads summoned by Jiraiya, this gigantic creature wreaked havoc on Konoha's interior. Hyuga-chen and the others are very leisurely. This time Konoha's collapses just to watch the excitement, but the top management of Konoha is messing up. 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hirazen died, not to mention the high-level Konoha, and even the civilians below rioted. 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hirazen are the backbone of Konoha, and now the backbone is gone, plus the panic caused by this attack. The entire Konoha residents have a big stone in their hearts. At this time, Danzo jumped out and called Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane, and also called Jiraiya over to discuss the 5th generation Hokage. What Danzo wants to do is Sima Zhao's heart, and everyone knows it. Now Konoha is in a panic, and Hokage must be elected immediately. I propose that I be the Hokage. Danzo was also polite and went straight to the topic. Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane silent. Danzo wants to be Hokage. Absolutely not, the 2 of them wouldn't allow Danzo to be Hokage. They are also Danzo's teammates and are very familiar with Danzo's character. If they do make Danzo Hokage, they're ready to hand over the power to 3 generations of Hokage. Sarutobi Hirazen is soft-hearted. If they do something, Sarutobi Hirazen thinks about the past affection and will not do anything to them. But Danzo can't do it. If they are caught by Danzo's little tail, they will definitely be ousted by Danzo mercilessly. Danzo's power is very strong, and he will definitely take away their power and make Konoha his voice. Danzo was secretly angry when he saw that the 2 of them were silent. When Sarutobi Hirazen was still alive, the 2 of them would usually support him, but now they are silent. I firmly disagree with you becoming Hokage. If the 2 advisors are silent, then Jiraiya is firmly opposed, and he will never let Danzo become Hokage. During the Konoha crisis, Jiraiya wouldn't let him be a Hokage. And as a disciple of Sarutobi Hiruzen, having spent many years in Konoha, he knew Danzo very well. If Danzo becomes Hokage, does Konoha have a future in the future? So Jiraiya firmly opposes, anyone can become Hokage, but Danzo must not become Hokage. Seeing Jiraiya's objection, Danzo became even more angry, and the atmosphere gradually solidified. Chapter 384 Jiraiya as Hokage. The conference room, Danzo pulled a stinky face, and Jiraiya looked a little sad, obviously still sad about Sarutobi Hiruzen's death. Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane sat there with their eyes closed, expressionless. At this time, they don't need to speak. Danzo is quite Hokage, and Jiraiya is definitely against it. They only need to stand up and support Jiraiya at that time. This way, Jiraiya is in the front, and they will not be too hated by Danzo. At that time, Danzo will definitely hate Jiraiya the most. Let Jiraiya take Danzo's pressure up front. Living for so many years, the two of them have been staying in the position of Hokage consultants. Although their strength has not improved much, their resourcefulness is not low. They are both old foxes. Smarter than Danzo. The two of them also have a share in the Uchiha genocide, but in the end, it is all on Danzo's head. Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane muffled their fortunes, and Danzo ran ahead to block their guns. Konoha must have a Hokage to stand up. Jiraiya, since you are against me, who else do you think is suitable for Hokage? Danzo asked sarcastically. The whole Konoha really couldn't find someone suitable for Hokage. Although Kakashi is still suitable, his strength is not enough. When Hokage not only has brains, but also has strength, both civil and military can become Hokage. Jiraiya frowned, and now Konoha really couldn't find someone suitable for Hokage. In fact, now Konoha can become the mainstay of Hokage, only Jiraiya and Danzo, but Jiraiya never thought of becoming Hokage. Jiraiya, Konoha will be more prosperous under my leadership, why do you object? Jiraiya sneered and sneered when she heard the words. Konoha would not be destroyed under Danzo's leadership, it would be even more prosperous. Where did Danzo have the courage to say such words? Danzo, I'll tell you directly, anyone in the entire Konoha can become Hokage, but only you can't. Jiraiya said unceremoniously. This sentence is already equivalent to tearing the skin, just don't want you Danzo to be Hokage. Jiraiya. Danzo slapped the table and stood up, with killing intent in his eyes. Anyone who stops him from becoming Hokage, is his enemy. Jiraiya stared at Danzo without showing weakness. Others may be afraid of Danzo, but he is not afraid of Danzo. Two went head to head, with Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane being the melon eaters. But the two of them wanted to be the melon eaters, but Danzo didn't want it. This was his best chance to become Hokage, how could he give up? Now that Tsunade is Konoha's missing nin, it is impossible to compete with him for the Hokage position, so Danzo has a very good chance of becoming a Hokage. Homura Mitokado, Kaharu Udatane, say your choice, agree or disagree. Danzo said coldly. If they don't agree to be Hokage, then only use Koto Amatsukami. That's what Danzo has in mind. If these people are against him being Hokage, then play the final hole card, Koto Amatsukami. Even if they can only temporarily change their will, it will be done by then, and they will not be able to oppose it. Thinking about it, a smile suddenly appeared on Danzo's dead mother's face. Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane saw the smile on Danzo's face and said they were horrified. Couldn't this force be trying to get rid of them? Considering Danzo's character, it's really possible. Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane looked at each other, and then Homura Mitokado coughed and said, actually, the choice of the fifth Hokage, Sarutobi was already determined when he was alive, and he also told us. Homura Mitokado's words are complete nonsense. Sarutobi Hiruzen did have a choice, but definitely didn't tell them. They said that to dissuade Danzo from wanting to be a Hokage. Have a choice. Who is it? Danzo's eyes flashed fiercely, ready to kill that person tonight. Homura Mitokado looked at Koharu Udatane and said solemnly, Sarutobi may have expected this accident, so he told us before that he wanted Jiraiya to be the 5th Hokage. Homura Mitokado doesn't feel ashamed about Yuhi when she tells lies, but it's also true that Sarutobi Hiruzen chose Jiraiya in the first place. The reason why Jiraiya didn't leave is because Sarutobi Hiruzen left him behind and made Jiraiya the 5th Hokage after preparing for the Chunin exam. Just that Sarutobi Hiruzen failed the Chunin exam and failed. Let me. No, how can I be Hokage? Jiraiya quickly refused. He's used to being lazy, but he doesn't want to be Hokage, and he also knows that his character is not suitable for Hokage 0. Jiraiya, now is the time of Konoha's crisis, are you going to back down? Koharu Udatane said quickly after seeing Homura Mitokado's wink. Don't forget about Sunagakure village, do you want to ignore it? Don't you have any affection for Konoha? Jiraiya remained silent under a series of questions from Koharu Udatane. Thinking that there are really only 2 people who can be Hokage in Konoha now, one is him, and the other is Danzo. If he wasn't Hokage, then Danzo would definitely be Hokage. Not to let Danzo be Hokage, Jiraiya finally nodded. Okay, I can be Hokage, but Hokage's succession ceremony will wait until after the teacher's funeral. Jiraiya said with a deep breath. Homura Mitokado and Koharu Udatane laughed. Jiraiya is the best Hokage, better than Danzo anyway. Danzo's face was gloomy, and he didn't even ask for his opinion, he decided on Hokage's position, clearly ignoring him. Aren't you going to ask my opinion? Danzo said coldly. Now that it's settled, is it useful to ask your opinion again? Jiraiya said unceremoniously. Homura Mitokado and Koharu Udatane were silent, they knew where they were. That is the grass on the wall. Wherever there is wind, it will fall to which side. Of course, the wind must be beneficial to them, and they are also for their own interests. Danzo looked sullenly at Homura Mitokado and Koharu Udatane, as if they knew Danzo very well, and Danzo knew 4.3 them well too. A cold snort, Danzo slapped the table and left angrily. Outside the conference room, a cold light flashed in Danzo's eyes, almost fulfilling his long-held dream of becoming Hokage. But why did he fail to grab Sarutobi Hiruzen at first, and later even his apprentice and grandson couldn't grab it? There had never been a moment where Danzo felt that fate had been so unfair to him. Sooner or later, I'll make you pay the price. Danzo glanced back at the conference room, then turned to leave. The conference room, Jiraiya was a little dazed, suddenly became Hokage, he didn't know what to do, and he was extremely dazed. I always thought about being happy before, but I never thought that one day he would take on such a big responsibility, and I felt a little uncomfortable for a while. Chapter 385 Leaving Konoha Village. After the funeral of the 3 generations, the Hokage succession ceremony of Jiraiya followed. The succession ceremony is relatively rushed, mainly to quickly stabilize the hearts of Konoha, so Jiraiya's Hokage succession ceremony is as simple as the previous 3 generations of Hokage. Once Sarutobi Hiruzen, his succession ceremony is also very simple, even simpler than Jiraiya's. After Jiraiya became Hokage, he first appeased the hearts of Konoha residents, and then apologized to those dignitaries. After all, people come to see the Chunin exam, but your Chunin exam is so exciting, whether it's Konoha's fault or not, it's Konoha's responsibility if something goes wrong in Konoha. It's also fortunate that they weren't damaged, otherwise Konoha would be really in trouble. Dealing with these, it is the post-disaster reconstruction of Konoha, which is very fast with Konoha's human and material resources. Moreover, the generous allocation of funds from the Country of Fire is not a problem, and the reconstruction of Konoha did not encounter any problems. The next step is to deal with the problems of Otogakure Village and 08 Sunagakure Village. Otogakure Village is just a small ninja village, although there is Orochimaru, but the background is not enough, so don't worry about it. But Sunagakure village can't do it. Although Sunagakure village is not as good as a year, it is still a Danin village, and its heritage is not weak. If it is not handled well, it will be troublesome to cause Konoha and Sunagakure to fight, but the fourth generation of Kazekage Rasa died among Konoha, and Jiraiya does not know how to solve it. Now Jiraiya's busy head is about to explode, and the entire Konoha matter is thrown to Jiraiya. Most was that Homura Mitokado and Kaharu Udatane didn't even show their heads, they all threw them to Jiraiya. Treat him as a hard-working cow, but even a cow will die of exhaustion one day. Jiraiya regretted it, he shouldn't be a Hokage, it's better to throw the Hokage position to Danzo, and then the old guy Danzo might be exhausted. Of course, if time goes on, he still won't give up Hokage to Danzo. Konoha is his home, and Jiraiya's feelings for Konoha are so deep that it's impossible for Danzo to mess around. Jiraiya has been waiting for the questioning from Sunagakure, but unexpectedly, Sunagakure village did not question. Instead, they sent someone to sign an alliance with Konoha again, which made Jiraiya unable to understand. In fact, Sunagakure village also has their own considerations. This matter is that they do not take care of it. The death of the fourth generation of Kazekage Rasa is ultimately self-inflicted. The situation in Sunagakure village is very bad, and there is no strength to fight with Konoha. Even if he is angry because of the death of the fourth generation of Kazekage at this time, he must bear it. Allied with Konoha again, just to get Konoha's aid. Sunagakure village, one of the 5 major ninja villages, is indeed tragic, and even Kazekage's death can't say anything. Sunagakure village asked for help, Jiraiya bit Kiba, and then agreed to give Sunagakure village a batch of supplies, also to quell the incident. Brother Chen, look at those 2 people, it's not the people we met during the mission of the Land of Waves. Ino leaned on the window, pointed to the bottom and yelled. Hearing this, Hyuga Chen walked over and looked down, just in time to see Uchiha Itachi and Kisame Hoshigaki strutting around in the Konoha. It's them, but no matter what they do, if you're bored, go to practice. I go to practice every day, I don't want to practice anymore. Ino said with salted fish lying on the windowsill. That's why your strength is so bad, you salted fish. Hyuga-chan tapped Ino on the head. Actually, it's okay to practice, but you want to give me a little reward so that I can be motivated. Ino looked at Hyuga-chan expectantly. What reward do you want? Hyuga-chan asked, bowing his head. Let's do it. If I practice seriously, Brother Chen, would you give me a kiss? Ino shyly grabbed the corner of his clothes. No, if I really kiss you, your father will probably be able to hunt me down with all of Konoha. Hyuga-chan pushed Ino away without hesitation. It's okay, I'll settle my dad. Anyway, considering his status at home, it's a trivial matter to settle him. Ino, come and die for me. Before Ino could continue to speak, Sakura ran over and dragged Ino away. Sakura, let me go, or I'll really get angry. Ino was dragged back, and he wanted to resist, but his strength was not as strong as Sakura's. Moreover, her hands were restrained, and Hand Seal could not use ninjutsu, so Ino was dragged away by Sakura in such a tragic way. Damn it, I must practice hard and take revenge when the time comes. Ino roared in grief and indignation. A mere Sakura can control her. It seems that she can't be lazy anymore, otherwise it would be very shameful if she was pressed on her head by Sakura in the future. The 2 of Akatsuki below, Hyuga-chen felt that he had enough in Konoha, and was about to leave Konoha village and go to Kurigakure village to find Tsunade and the others. Hinata, how about taking you out of Konoha? Ah, Brother Chen, I'll go wherever you go. Hinata was stunned for a moment, then said softly. Brother Chen, are you leaving Konoha? Can I leave with you? Sakura immediately released Ino and ran over. I'm leaving too. Little lowly Hanabi raised his hand and said. Come if you want. Hyuga-chen touched Hanabi's little head and said there was no problem. Pack up, Then Hyuga Tatsu left Konoha with Hinata, Hanabi, Sakura, Ino, and Tamari. Izumi and Karen are no longer Konoha 757 anymore, they had returned to Kurigakure village a few days ago. When Hyuga-chen left Konoha, they followed a little tail, and this little tail was Tenten. "Why are you here too?" Ino asked angrily. "I'm happy, what's your business?" Tenten grimaced at Ino with a smug look on his face. "No, how did you know we were leaving Konoha?" "I told Sister Tenten." Little Hanabi raised his hand and said. Back in Chunan's exam, little Hanabi was bought by Tenten's candy, so it's no surprise that Tenten knew they were leaving Konoha. "You little traitor, see how I deal with you." Ino picked up Hanabi angrily and tickled her. Little Hanabi was not afraid at all, and grimaced at Ino. "Damn, it's not ticklish. Tell me, why do you want to be a traitor, you little bastard?" "Humph, I wouldn't say that Sister Tenten gave me a lot of candy," Hanabi said with a small face. "Ino and Sakura bit Kiba, and the mere candy bought you off. You greedy little bastard who wants to eat candy, don't you know, let us buy it for you." So Hyuga-chan and his party had an extra Tenten. Towards the village of Kurigakure, I didn't rush on the road, it was very interesting to travel around the mountains and waters. Chapter 386 Uchiha Sasuke's Defection. Hyuga-chen and the others left Konoha, but Yamanaka Inoichi and Hyuga Hiyashi were so anxious that their daughter was kidnapped. Especially Hyuga Hiyashi, 2 daughters were kidnapped, he didn't even say hello, Hyuga Hiyashi wanted to vomit blood. This incident happened to Hokage Jiraiya of the 5th generation, and Jiraiya had nothing to do. The mysterious organization of Akatsuki appeared in Konoha and also injured Kakashi. Could he not care about these little things at such a time, and where would he go to find Hyuga-chen? At the same time, in my heart, Jiraiya secretly admires Hyuga-chen. Is this the gap between us? When I was still peeking at the women's bathhouse, there were already groups of beautiful women, and they were still abducting little Loli. For Hyuga Hiyashi and Yamanaka Inoichi, the guys whose 2 daughters were kidnapped, Jiraiya can only repay sympathy. He has to deal with Konoha's affairs now, and he has no time to care about them. That guy Tatsu, when I see him again, I will definitely break his leg, Yamanaka Inoichi said while biting Kiba. But when I think of Hyuga-chan's strength, I don't seem to have much confidence. Hyuga Hiyashi had a gloomy old face, a serious face, and now Yamanaka Inoichi was taken aback by adding a gloomy expression. "Ni calm down first, this matter It's not good, Lord Hokage, Uchiha Sasuke has defected." An Anbu ninja pushed open the door and walked in. "What?" Jiraiya was startled, not blaming the ninja for trespassing. "You mean Uchiha Sasuke defected?" "Yes, it seems that they defected to find Orochimaru. We found traces of Orochimaru's 4 men," Anbu ninja said. "Going to find that Orochimaru guy?" Jiraiya frowned, with a complicated expression on her face. Speaking of Orochimaru, Jiraiya thinks of his teacher Hokage for 3 generations, but he didn't expect Orochimaru to really kill his teacher. "To trouble me at a critical time, I really don't want to let me rest for a moment." Jiraiya sighed secretly. Now he is already in a daze. Orochimaru, Uchiha Sasuke, these 2 guys, actually put more burdens on him. Thinking of the ties between Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke, Jiraiya suddenly had a headache, and Uchiha Sasuke has a brother Uchiha Itachi. This missing nin is not easy to handle. Jiraiya pinched her head, feeling a dull pain. When this Hokage can reduce his lifespan by 10 years. Inform the 7th, 10th, and Gai classes to come, I have a task for them, Jiraiya ordered. Anbu Ninja took the lead and left, leaving Jiraiya, Hyuga Hiyashi and Yamanaka Inoichi in the Hokage office. Look at the current situation, it's not easy for me to be a Hokage, and it's not me who kidnapped your daughter. I have to find the reason for everything, Jiraiya said politely. Hyuga Hiyashi and Yamanaka Inoichi are not happy. Someone kidnapped the people of Konoha. Who are we not looking for you? He also has to find the reason for everything in himself. Does that mean that their daughter was kidnapped, or is it their fault? I won't disturb Hokage-sama anymore. Yamanaka Inoichi reluctantly left. In fact, he wasn't too worried. Following that fellow Hyuga-chen, Ino's safety doesn't need to be worried. The entire ninja world, Yamanaka Inoichi could not find anyone stronger than Hyuga-chen. Yamanaka Inoichi is gone, what can Hyuga do? Jiraiya didn't say everything. You have to find the reason from yourself, go back and find the reason. Leaving, Hyuga gave Jiraiya an angry look. Jiraiya said that he had a headache. How could there be so many things to be a Hokage, and now he wants to quit? With Jiraiya's character, it is really not suitable for Hokage. He just likes a leisurely life, which is very similar to Hyuga-chen. But Konoha can't do without him now. Jiraiya just wants to cultivate a successor as soon as possible, and then hand over the burden to him. Jiraiya, I heard that Uchiha Sasuke defected. Danzo pushed open the door and walked in, looking at Jiraiya blankly. Jiraiya frowned. What is this old guy doing? But Jiraiya thinks there is absolutely nothing good. Yes, Uchiha Sasuke did defect. Jiraiya nodded. But Danzo, as a top executive of Konoha, don't you know the rules? Don't you know how to knock on the door first when you come in? Danzo narrowed his eyes. I don't care what the old man was like back then, but I will never condone you, Danzo. Jiraiya stared at Danzo tightly. The smell of gunpowder between the two parties was full. Jiraiya, in my eyes, you are just a junior. What qualifications do you have? Bump. The people in Hokage's office were violently pushed away. Uzumaki Naruto rushed in, looked at Jiraiya and asked anxiously, Sexy Immortal, did Sasuke defect? Danzo's face was extremely gloomy. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by this Kyuubi, Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, Column Force Kid, and Danzo was angry. Little devil, do you know what politeness is? Danzo asked gloomily as he patted the table. Uzumaki Naruto looked at Danzo. The lecherous fairy, who is this? Well, Uzumaki Naruto doesn't even know who Danzo is. But this is also normal. Over the years, Danzo's presence in Konoha has been low, and he has always acted in the dark. It's normal that Uzumaki Naruto doesn't know him. Don't ask, I have an important task for you. The lecherous immortal, I heard that Sasuke defected to Konoha, is it true? Uzumaki Naruto suddenly became excited again. Uchiha Sasuke is his good friend, can Uzumaki Naruto not be excited? That's right, Uchiha Sasuke has defected. The mission I came to you this time is to get you back to Uchiha Sasuke. Jiraiya's expression was quite complicated. Think about the relationship between Uchiha Sasuke and Naruto. It's really like him and Orochimaru. When he learned that Orochimaru defected, he was just as excited as Naruto now. So Jiraiya understands Naruto better. But understanding comes understanding. Jiraiya cannot easily let Sasuke Uchiha go, and precedents cannot be set, otherwise the number of missing nin will definitely increase. I'm going to bring him back. Naruto impulsively wanted to bring back Uchiha Sasuke. After Jiraiya saw it, he quickly grabbed Naruto. He couldn't let Naruto be so impulsive, but Uchiha Sasuke was lured away by Orochimaru. Orochimaru will definitely not sit idly by. If Naruto is left to chase alone, then Orochimaru is likely to be caught. As Orochimaru's teammate, Jiraiya knows Orochimaru's character very well. With Orochimaru's ruthless character, Naruto will definitely not end well in his hands. Naruto, don't be impulsive, wait for someone else to come, I will let you bring back Uchiha Sasuke. Jiraiya can only temporarily appease Naruto. Under Jiraiya's comfort, Naruto put away his impulses and sat in the corner silently. Chapter 387 Chase the Task. The Hokage office fell silent, but Danzo wasn't happy, and he found himself ignored. Jiraiya and Uzumaki Naruto, as if he did not exist. Danzo's self-esteem expressed that he could not stand this grievance, and he must stand up and intervene at this time. Uchiha Sasuke doesn't need to be brought back, let's solve it on the spot. Since he has become a missing nin, it is Konoha's duty to kill him. Danzo said lightly. What did you say? Naruto, who was squatting in the corner and was secretly sad, exploded and wanted to kill Sasuke. He absolutely disagreed. There's no reason for you to intervene here. You're just Konoha's weapon of war, and you don't have the right to intervene. Danzo, don't go too far. Jiraiya slapped the table and yelled angrily. Am I wrong? Danzo looked straight at Jiraiya lightly. Naruto, don't care about his words, I promise not to hurt his life, I am Hokage now. Jiraiya walked over and patted Naruto on the shoulder. I know Uncle Jiraiya, Naruto said silently. Soon Inuzuka Kiba, Nara Shikamaru, Hyuga Neji they came. Jiraiya glanced at Danzo lightly, and then said, I asked you to come this time because I have a task for you. Uchiha Sasuke defected, now you guys go after Uchiha Sasuke, catch him back, it's better not to hurt Uchiha Sasuke's life. 870. Quote. What? Uchiha Sasuke defected? Little Lee said in disbelief. Hyuga Neji has no expression, although the conflict with main clan has been resolved, but he is not a person who talks a lot, just do it when he has a task. The captain this time is Shikamaru, you follow Shikamaru's command. Jiraiya thought for a while, and handed over their squad to Shikamaru's command. The mind of the Nara family, Jiraiya, is very trusting and gives Shikamaru the command, and he is also relieved. This time Jiraiya let Uzumaki Naruto and the others go, just to hone them, and the next generation will grow up. They are the ninjas that Jiraiya is most optimistic about. And Jiraiya sure won't put them in too much danger, he'll send Anbu Ninja to follow. If they do encounter a life or death crisis, Anbu Ninja will come to their rescue. They are the hope of the future, and Jiraiya does not and dare not let them fail. You go. After Jiraiya finished speaking, Naruto, who couldn't wait, immediately walked out of the Hokage office, and Hyuga Neji and the others immediately followed. Only Danzo and Jiraiya were left in the office. Danzo, I advise you not to make small moves, or I won't let you go. Jiraiya warned. Knowing that this guy Danzo is insidious and cunning, Jiraiya warned him in advance, otherwise Danzo might really make some small moves. Uchiha Sasuke is a disaster, can you guarantee that Uzumaki Naruto and the others will be able to capture him? You will regret your choice today. Danzo said coldly, then walked away. Danzo leaves in a huff, and Jiraiya sits in a chair in deep thought. In fact, if it wasn't for Naruto, Jiraiya wouldn't care about Uchiha Sasuke's life or death at all, and would definitely send someone to kill Uchiha Sasuke. But because of Naruto, it is impossible for Jiraiya to do this, so let it all be for Naruto. Uchiha Sasuke is really captured, he will be imprisoned in Konoha's cell forever. If it fails in the end, no, Uchiha Sasuke will be caught back. Jiraiya is not worried, Jiraiya does not think Uchiha Sasuke can do anything. Contrary, Jiraiya is worried about Orochimaru and doesn't know what conspiracy Orochimaru has. As one of the people who knows Orochimaru best, he is sure that Orochimaru definitely has a plan. According to the information obtained, it is very likely that Orochimaru regards Uchiha Sasuke as a reincarnation vessel. Alas, Orochimaru, if you were reincarnated like this, even if you can live forever, are you still you? Jiraiya sighed. Even now, he can't let go of the tie of Orochimaru. Perhaps the tie between him and Orochimaru will continue to Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. Let's settle these official duties first. Jiraiya's mouth twitched as he looked at the pile of documents beside him, how long it would take to read it. The position of Hokage is a profession that looks majestic, but is actually very hard. Jiraiya looked at these documents and said that she was going to explode again, and she might die suddenly on her desk one day. This is the first time I've seen the sea, it's really majestic. Ino sighed while standing on the bow of the boat. At this time, they had already boarded the boat to the land of water. Then go down and play. Sakura stood behind Ino and pushed towards Ino. Ino screamed in fright. Although the sea was magnificent, it was as terrifying as a giant beast that devoured people from a distance. Ino screamed in horror, and just as she was about to fall, Sakura reached out and grabbed her and pulled her up. Then he laughed. As a ninja, I am still afraid of the sea. Then I'll push you down and try to see if you're afraid. Ino said angrily. I don't. Sakura took a few steps back and ran away quickly. Otherwise, according to Ino's character, there is a real possibility of revenge. Damn Sakura, wait for me, I'm going to beat you up today. Ino yelled after him. It's starting again. It's not as good as a child, it's really immature. Little Hanabi spoke the words of an adult in a tender voice. Don't say it, be careful that they will come to clean you up later, then don't come to me crying. Hyuga-chen said funny. I won't cry to find you. I won't Tilda, Hanabi said with Yuhi's cheeks, stomping her feet. Did you miss your father? Hyuga-chen asked, skipping the previous topic. Hanabi might get angry if he continued the previous topic. I don't want to, just keep my face straight all day long, and then I know how to teach me a lesson. It's serious. Hanabi couldn't help shuddering when he thought about his father's extremely serious face. Hyuga Hiyashi would have to cry if he knew your daughter said that to him. Hyuga-chen pinched Hanabi's little nose. He doesn't know, hee. Hanabi and Kiba laughed. It's ready to eat, Hinata called out of the cabin. Hearing that it was time to eat, Ino smiled proudly. She didn't believe that Sakura didn't go to eat, nor was she afraid that she would run away, and she didn't believe that she could run for the rest of her life. However, Sakura really didn't go to dinner, and sat on the boat looking at the sea, secretly blaming herself for being too cheap. I am going to be hungry today, I'm really depressed. Sakura lay on the deck, wanting to cry without tears. Sakura's sister, come here, I've brought you something to eat. Hanabi shouted in the distance. Hearing this, Sakura looked at Hanabi, looking at the golden grilled fish in Hanabi's hands, and the fragrant rice balls, her stomach couldn't help growling. Thank you so much, Hanabi. Sakura walked over and ended up eating rice balls and grilled fish. You don't need to thank my sister Sakura, as long as you don't blame me. Hanabi whispered with her head lowered. Hanabi, what are you talking about? Loud. Sakura leaned in and asked. No, nothing. Hanabi hurriedly ran away. Sakura saw something inexplicable, sat on the deck and concentrated on eating fish. How would he fight Ino when he was hungry? Chapter 388 Black Heart Little Hanabi. How about little Hanabi? Did it work? Ino asked impatiently when Hanabi came back. Sister Ino, I feel guilty for doing this. Hanabi said with his head down, clutching at his clothes. Hearing that, Ino took out a lollipop and handed it to Hanabi, who instantly wiped away the so-called guilt. It has been successful. I saw Sister Sakura eat the food with my own eyes. Hanabi said with a lollipop tilde. Then thank you Hanabi. When you get to the land of water, my sister will buy you more candies. Ino walked towards the deck with a sneer on his face. Sakura, who was eating on the deck, suddenly felt that her body was not right, and a sense of powerlessness filled her body. Ho ha ho ho, Ino let out a weird laugh, full of pride. Sakura wanted to turn around, but fell weakly on the deck. At this time, Sakura also understood that there must be a problem with the food. Aren't you good at running? Now keep running. Ino walked up to Sakura, took out the rope, and tied Sakura. Damn, you're actually using Hanabi, it's really bad. Sakura angrily wanted to bite Ino to death, but she didn't have the strength right now. I didn't take advantage of her, I took out a few lollipops and Hanabi volunteered. Sakura was stunned. He didn't expect Hanabi to be so black-bellied. For a few lollipops, he helped Ino pour her medicine. Damn Hanabi, I won't spare you when I get out. Sakura's voice spread throughout the ship. Hanabi's face tightened. What should I do? After Sakura-san gets out, she will definitely not let me go, or she will just keep doing it. Hanabi took out the white powder from his pocket and saw the super anesthetic written on the bag above. If you eat this thing, your whole body will be paralyzed, which is what you put in the food for Sakura before. In order to prevent Sakura's retaliation, Hanabi decided to give Sakura all the anesthetics to ensure that she could not recover for half a month. Sakura's sister, I heard that you want to take revenge on me. Hanabi was covered in black energy, causing Ino to take a few steps back. Hanabi, what are you doing? Sakura felt bad, especially the bag of white powder in Hanabi's hand. Sakura could clearly see the word anesthetic. In order not to let you take revenge on me, Sister Sakura, I decided to feed you this whole bag, and I will guarantee that you will not be able to get up for half a month. Hanabi said with a smile. Sakura said horror. I didn't expect you to be such a Hanabi, scary, really scary. Hanabi, I'm joking, there's no such thing, I promise I will never come back with revenge. Sakura said quickly. This little loli is too cruel, Sakura thinks it's better to admit it first. Hanabi, I also think it's a bit too much, but it's not really necessary. Ino said quickly. She wanted to punish Sakura, but she never thought it would be so cruel. Hanabi is really cruel, sure enough. Will it really not take revenge on me? Hanabi expressed disbelief. Sakura nodded quickly, although she was not convinced, but now in the hands of others, let's be honest first. Revenge or wait until later? Okay then, Hanabi nodded and put away the medicine in his hand, in case he needed it later. This is a good tool for changing sugar. Can you let me go now? Sakura asked. Let you go, you're thinking too much. Ino squeezed her fist, but she wasn't even out of breath. How could it be possible to let Sakura go? Then what do you want to do to me? Don't go too far, Sakura said nervously. Ino sneered, then grabbed Sakura and threw it into the sea. Ah! Sakura's miserable cry echoed, and just as her body was about to touch the water, her falling body stopped. Ino grabbed the rope and looked playfully at Sakura below. Sakura was about to cry, she was completely weak now, and if she really fell, there was only one way to go. Damn Ino, woohoo tilde, Sakura whimpered. When Ino saw that he was overplaying, he immediately pulled Sakura up, then untied her rope and gave her an antidote to relieve her paralysis. After regaining his strength, Sakura gave Ino an angrier look, then threw Ino on the deck, and the two began to scuffle. The little Hanabi next to her shouted to cheer for the second daughter. Hyuga-chen, who was sitting in the distance and basking in the sun, looked back and looked over there, feeling a little funny. Ten, now the boat is moving, you can't catch fish like this. Hyuga-chen said, looking at Ten who was fishing not far away. However, I don't know if I want to slap Hyuga-chen in the face, but just after he finished speaking, Ten caught a fish, and it seemed that the size of the fish was not small. Hyuga-chen's mouth twitched. Are you cheating, or are you attracted by the goddess of luck? I'm so handsome, why can't the goddess of luck look down on me? Is Lady Luck gay? Thinking about his 10 consecutive draws in the system space a few days ago, all 10 draws were ninjutsu in the Hokage world. Of ninjutsu to Hyuga-chen. Totally useless. Maybe he ran out of luck before, and now he can't draw good things. Ten, I suspect that you are attracted by the goddess of luck. Lend me a little of your European chi. Hyuga-chen leaned over to Ten and took 2 sips of European chi. The European gas was not inhaled, but the aroma was inhaled. Chen, brother Chen, what are you talking about? Ten saw Hyuga-chen approaching. His cheeks turned to Yuhi, and the sea breeze blew her hair, but it couldn't blow away the shyness in her heart. How did you catch this fish just now? Do you have any skills? Hyuga-chen asked expectantly. In fact, Hyuga-chen is quite fond of fishing, but the fishing skills are not very good, maybe it is because of luck. After all, fishing skills account for a small part, and luck accounts for the vast majority. No, it's actually my first time fishing, I just wanted to try it out, Ten said. Never fished, so Ten just wanted to play, never thought of catching a fish. Hyuga-chen is speechless and tearful, can't compare, can't compare. The battered Hyuga-chen lay back again, let me continue to be a salted fish. What's wrong? It's so strange. Tenten touched his head, expressing strangeness to Hyuga-chen's behavior. Brother Chen, come and judge us. One of Sakura and Ino scratched their hair, the other pinched their face, and the two refused to give in to each other. Hanabi was very excited to see it, and she wanted to get involved with her small fists, but with Hanabi's small body, both Sakura and Ino could suppress her. Hyuga-chen glanced at it and let the two of them continue fighting. It is estimated that when he is tired, he will let go, and he will not participate. And his participation will only make things more troublesome. It's not good to help anyone at that time, so let the two of them fight each other. Tamari, who was quietly fanning him with a fan, and Hinata, who was making tea beside him, Hyuga-chen closed his eyes comfortably and enjoyed the sea breeze. Chapter 389 Complaining Anko. After 3 days of unhurried travel on the sea, Hyuga-chen and the others came to the land of water. The fog in the land of water is so thick and a little damp. My clothes are a little wet. Tenten touched the clothes on her body, and the thick moisture made her feel uncomfortable. The land of water has already been calculated. The land of rain is really humid, and it's even more uncomfortable, said Hyuga-chen. Compared with the rainy and depressing land of rain, the land of water is more than 10 times better. I have never seen any trees here, they are so tall. The flowers here are also very beautiful. If you bring them back to your family to cultivate them, it should be very profitable, right? Several little girls who had never seen the world looked at the surrounding scenery and were surprised. 2 days, Hyuga-chen brought a few surprised little girls to Kurigakure village. The current Kurigakure village has been reborn after the era of the bloody Kurigakure village. The thriving development of the village has nothing to do with Terumi Mei, the 5th generation Mizukage. Perhaps Terumi Mei's greatest contribution is to drive Uchiha Obito away. After all, Terumi Mei didn't care about the affairs of Kurigakure village. She didn't even go to the Mizukage office all day long, and left everything to the elders of Kurigakure village. But those elders don't dare to make any small moves. Who makes Terumi Mei strong? Compare Terumi Mei, and then look at Jiraiya, it's just too hard to be hard. The only Kakashi that Konoha can help him, is also brought down by Uchiha Itachi with Tsukuyomi. Now Jiraiya can't find a way to save Kakashi. After preparing to work, he will find a way to find a solution to the big Tota mortal. Kakashi is Jiraiya's most optimistic person and his intended successor. Jiraiya won't let him lie down forever. It seems to have gone a little too far. Came to Kurigakure village, Hyuga-chen walked in directly, but the ninjas in Kurigakure village didn't dare to stop him. They knew Hyuga-chen. Mizukage-sama has already given an order, and seeing Hyuga-chen, he must not stop him. Although they all thought that Hyuga-chen was a little white face who eats soft rice, no one dared to say it. After all, even if it was a little white face, it was also a little white face that Mizukage raised. These people don't dare to offend, otherwise, with the temper of Lord Mizukage, they can't run away. Hyuga-chen glanced at these people. Although he saw the contempt in their eyes, Hyuga-chen didn't care about them. They are all small people, and they generally know their identities. Teacher, why are you here? Anko, who was walking on the street with a large bag in his hand, suddenly saw Hyuga-chen, his eyes suddenly lit up. Then swooped in. Hyuga-chen looked at Anko who was flying over, and quickly moved away, because Anko had a lot of snacks hanging on his body. If he threw himself on him, he would definitely not be able to run away. Seeing that Anko was about to fall to the ground, Hyuga-chen quickly pulled her up, but the snacks she bought still fell to the ground. Oh shit, they all fell to the ground. They will definitely scold me when I go back. Woohoo, I'm so pitiful. Anko peeked at Hyuga-chen while wiping away tears that didn't exist. When Hyuga-chen heard this, a playful smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, and then he said indignantly, Anko, who dares to scold you? Teacher, I will make the decision for you. Really? Anko looked at Hyuga-chen expectantly. Of course it's true, I will definitely call the shots for you, you can say it with confidence. It's Mrs. Kushina, as well as Yuhi and Yugao. It's them who cheated on me and asked me to come out to buy things. It's really annoying. Teacher, you have to decide for me. Anko snorted and burst into tears. Hyuga-chen's arms. Ino and the others who followed behind looked at Anko, who suddenly threw himself into Hyuga-chan's arms, his mouth bulging, and his heart was very uncomfortable. How did they cheat on you? Hyuga-chen asked curiously. They played cards with me, and then colluded to trick me, and let the loser help out to buy things. Every time it was me who lost. Anko said angrily. Every day I know that bullying her is not enough, and it is not easy for her. Why do I keep catching her alone? Can't I change someone? Anko said that the baby has been wronged to death. Hyuga-chen looked at Anko sympathetically. You seem to be the kind of person who is very easy to deceive. If I were, I would also cheat you. Teacher, you must help me, especially Mrs. Kushina, who is the most hateful. Don't worry, I will definitely decide for you. You're so stupid, I'm embarrassed to cheat on you. They actually cheated on you, take me to find them to settle accounts. Hyuga-chen patted Anko's shoulder. Anko nodded, with pride in his eyes. It seems that Anko also has a chance to avenge Zero. By the way, teacher, who are they? At this time, the nervous Anko saw the group of little girls behind Hyuga-chen, and his eyes revealed unkindness. I'll introduce you to me when I go back, Hyuga-chen said. The main reason is that I have introduced it now, and I will introduce it again after I go back, so I will just go back and talk about it. Oh, Anko nodded, his eyes still bad. Not to be outdone, Ino and the others exchanged eyes with Anko. If eyes can kill, they have already slashed each other with 1,000 swords. Hyuga-chen glanced at them helplessly, as long as they didn't fight. Soon they came to the place where they lived. Hyuga-chen had just stepped in when he heard Kushina shouting, Anko, have I bought the things I asked for? No, I already ate something on the way, Anko said, biting kiba. Yo, little Anko dares to talk to me like this, is it a problem? Kushina came out of the room, just in time to see Hyuga-chen. Oh, Chen, you're here, I'm still busy now. Kushina quickly returned to the house. It's miserable now, I'm afraid it will be cleaned up, woo woo woo. Kushina wanted to cry in her heart. What's wrong with you, Kushina? Makoto asked, looking at Kushina, who was circling around. Woo, Chen is here, and she came in with Anko. It must be Anko who complained that we were bullying her, Kushina said, shaking Makoto. Wait, Kushina, when did I 4.8 bully Anko? We didn't bully Anko, you bullied Anko, Tsunade said quickly. That's right, Tsunade-san is right. Terumi-mei raised her hand in agreement. Have no conscience, you conscienceless people, how about you, Makoto? Kushina looked at Makoto pitifully. Hey, who made us good sisters? As good sisters, I hope that you can do things alone, we will remember you, go at ease. Makoto patted Kushina on the shoulder, covered his mouth and snickered. Damn it, you can't believe it the most. Kushina looked at Makoto angrily. Kushina looked around, looking at Yuhi and Yugao shrinking their heads. Kushina grabbed the two who wanted to sneak away. Even if I'm going to die, I, Kushina, have to pull 2 pads on my back, and you still want to run, but there is no door. Chapter 390. Do you really want to know? Hyuga-chen sat on the main seat. Kushina stood beside him and bowed his head obediently. Kurenai, Yuhi and Azuki Yugao stood behind Kushina. 2 of them are not afraid. Anyway, Kushina is the main culprit. They are only accomplices, at most they are just accomplices, and Kushina is standing in front. If Kushina knew what the 2 of them were thinking, they would definitely pack up the 2 of them. Tsunade, Makoto and the others sat around, watching Kushina's good show, and the happiest one was Otsutsuki Kagaya. Conan came over and obediently poured a cup of tea for Hyuga-chen, then retreated to Sarah and Terumi-mei, dragging his chin to watch the play. Hinata and the others stood behind Hyuga-chen, looking at the girls a little overwhelmed. Anko stood beside Hyuga-chen, looked at Kushina proudly and arrogantly, and angrily Kushina bit Kiba. You were fooled by you, and you dared to sue. Kushina, I heard from Anko that you bullied her, is that true? Hyuga-chen looked at Kushina with a serious expression. She thought that it was Anko who was being bullied. Hyuga-chen wanted to laugh inexplicably. Nothing, we are just playing games fairly and impartially. You ask Anko where we bullied her. Kushina said stubbornly. The Grand Judge Hyuga-chen looked at the sufferer, the plaintiff Anko. You guys are bullying me together, you're just cheating me anyway. Anko said angrily. Hyuga-chen looked at Anko speechlessly. Then how do you know that they cheated on you? Hyuga-chen looked at the dumbfounded Anko and asked involuntarily. Looking at Anko, he belongs to the kind of person who counts money for others even if he is deceived. How can he see that he has been cheated? Rin told me. Anko glanced gratefully at Nohara Rin, who was sitting not far away, and Nohara Rin instantly covered his face. Kushina bit Kiba. It turned out to be Rin. I said Anko can't be so smart. Okay, don't bully Anko in the future. Hyuga-chen said, and didn't do anything to Kushina, and Kushina didn't bully Anko very much, so Anko should just pay her tuition. Hope to be smarter in the future. As soon as Anko heard it, she just let it go, and immediately became unhappy. How could she let it go? She was not convinced. When Anko wanted to say more, Yuhi and Yugao looked at each other, then covered her mouth and took her away. Ahem, shouldn't it be time to talk about you? Kushina walked over, pulled Hyuga-chen up, and sat on the main seat. Me? What's the matter with me? Hyuga-chen scratched his head blankly. I'm still pretending to be stupid, what's going on behind me? Kushina said angrily. On the other side, Tsunade, Makoto, and the others looked at Hyuga-chen with the same wickedness, and they dared to bring so many girls here. Facing the sharp eyes like knives, Hyuga-chen felt like a thorn in the back. I didn't expect a woman's eyes to be so terrifying. Are you trying to eat me? Chen, did you know? A scum like you is going to be hit with a hatchet. Tsunade leaned into Hyuga-chen's ear and said softly. Hatch, are you really going to use my hatchet? I'm so scared. Hyuga-chen clasped his hands and looked at Tsunade, scared. You don't believe it, do you? Do you want me to demonstrate it to you? Tsunade's face sank, and he looked at Hyuga-chen with menacing eyes. You dare to threaten me, Tsunade, I'm afraid you don't understand how to write the word, death. Today I'll let you know what it means to want to die. Hyuga-chen hugged Tsunade in his arms and looked at Tsunade with a weird smile. Tsunade, who was hugged, panicked immediately, and hurriedly asked Kushina and the others for help. Kushina and the others immediately turned their heads and did not look at Tsunade. Tsunade bit Kiba angrily, looked at Hyuga-chen angrily, and said sternly, do you think I'd be afraid of you? Today I'll see who of us begs for mercy first. Very good, Tsunade, you are ambitious. Hyuga-chen carried Tsunade up and walked into the room. The rest of the girls look at me, I look at you. How long do you think Sister Tsunade can last? Kushina asked. It should be an hour. We won't know until the result. Terumi-May sat on the sofa, quietly waiting for Tsunade's begging for mercy. My big sisters, my name is Hyuga Hanabi, please take care of my sisters. Little Hanabi said. My name is Yamanaka Ino, please take care of my sisters. Through self-introduction, Kushina and the others are also familiar with Hinata, especially the little Hanabi, whom Makoto and Kushina like the most. Why are Brother Chen and Big Sister Tsunade going in? Hanabi asked. Yuhi couldn't help but say this to the little girl Hanabi, it's the hateful Chen. Hanabi, let me take you out for a walk. Shizune put down the pet pig, and then pulled Hinata, Hanabi and the others out. Izumi pulled the reluctant Karen and went out with him. Hyuga-chan's female apprentice and the four little maids looked at each other and left shyly, because a voice that was not suitable for children came out after a while. Even Makoto and the others would feel shy Yuhi, let alone the unmanned ones. What are you talking about, Yuhi? You haven't heard it once or twice, what's so shy? Kushina said carelessly. Kushina, shut your mouth. Makoto slapped Kushina in embarrassment. Cut. Kushina rubbed his head on Makoto's body, especially the area in front of the shong, which was soft and really comfortable. Hurry up and drive for me, or be careful I'll be rude to you. Makoto pushed Kushina in disgust. Oh, then Makoto, why do you want 123 to be rude to me? Kushina asked with a smile. You really want to know? Makoto's face suddenly showed a dark smile, and Kushina had a bad feeling in her heart. No, I suddenly don't want to know anymore. Kushina sneered. Unfortunately it's too late. Makoto shook his head, then tied Kushina with both hands. Konan, Kagaya, you guys are here to help too. Originally, Makoto couldn't fully control Kushina by himself, but with Konan and Otsutsuki Kagaya, it was easier. The three of Makoto grabbed Kushina and came to Hyuga-chen's door, then opened the door, threw Kushina in and quickly closed the door. Makoto's sister, will it be bad for us to do this? I'm afraid Kushina's sister will hate us to death. Konan was a little worried. It's okay Konan, from what I know about Kushina, she will forget about it in 2 days at most. Makoto said with a smile. Ah, Makoto, Konan, Kagaya Haim, I remember you three, you wait for me, Kushina will take revenge. Kushina's voice came from the room. After that, there was a humming sound. Makoto and Konan looked like Yuhi, and they didn't care about Kushina's clamor, not to mention that it would be impossible for Kushina to take revenge for a while. Tsunade in the room looked at Kushina, who came in to rescue her, with a moved face. Sure enough, Kushina was loyal, but she didn't know that Kushina was thrown in. Chapter 391 Two Women Fighting. Makoto, choose your own method of death. Do you want to be killed by me, or be killed by me, or be killed by me? Kushina said blankly. I am sorry Kushina, I've realized my mistake, and I deeply regret it. Can you forgive me? Makoto said apologetically. Can't forgive. How is it possible to forgive? She is still lying on the bed weakly, can this be forgiven? It's fine if you can't forgive me. You don't have any strength right now. How can you stand up and hit me? Makoto got up and left, taking the breakfast prepared for Kushina by the way. Quote. Seeing that Makoto really left, Kushina was annoyed. You actually left, shouldn't you sincerely apologize to me again at this time? I thought you, Kushina, came to help me on purpose. I was very moved yesterday, but now I'm not moved at all, said Tsunade, who was lying next to Kushina. You think too much, Kushina will help you. Kushina pouted in disdain. Surprised by Kushina's disdainful tone, Tsunade grabbed Kushina's face and pinched it with the strength he had just recovered. Kushina, let me educate you. Kushina was furious and wanted to fight back, but Tsunade didn't recover as fast as Tsunade, and he couldn't lift his arms. How could he fight back? Tsunade, you big murderous girl, you wait for me, when I recover, I will make you look good. Kushina shouted. But there is a saying that, if you kill the stubborn one, you will get water if you drown. Originally Tsunade wanted to stop, but seeing that Kushina dared to speak up, the strength in his hand increased again. Since you have recovered and wanted revenge, then I will bully you enough while you have not recovered. Kushina, if you take it easy at this time, I'll let you go. Tsunade said. Bah, even if I was beaten to death, Kushina wouldn't give in. Kushina said unconvinced, and tried to raise her hand to fight back. Kushina is not the one who suffers. Then don't blame me for being rude. Tsunade gave a wicked smile, then turned around to face Kushina, grabbing Kushina's face with both hands and pinching hard. Kushina's face hurts a lot, but she just refuses to accept it, and she stubbornly fights with Tsunade to the end. The system space, Hyuga-chen was playing a game with Loloras, and Shueheim sat next to him and watched with a smile on his face. Brother, You lost, you have to let me fight. Lalula's jumped up happily. Lalu lassie, are you really willing to hit me? Hyuga-chen looked at Lalu lassie pitifully, with tears in his eyes. Lalu lassie scratched her head and said, will be willing, of course I will, who asked my brother to always come to play with me for several days. After speaking, Lalula's raised her small fist and tapped Hyuga-chen's head. It hurts. I didn't expect you to really hit me, Lalu lassie, and stop playing with you. Hyuga-chen pushed Lalu lassie away, pretending to be very angry. Brother, are you angry? Don't be angry, okay. Lalula's panicked and hurriedly used Healing Wave on Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen patted Lalu lassie's head with some amusing. Actually, my brother isn't angry, I'm joking with you. Hyuga-chen said quickly when she saw Lalula's who was about to cry. You're bullying even Lalora's, you're a scumbag. Shui Haim, who was sitting next to him, gave Hyuga-chen a look of contempt. I'll still bully you. Hyuga-chen threw Shui Haim on the grass, looking directly at Shui Haim with a wicked smile on his face. Me. Shui Haim looked at Hyuga-chen's unconcealed eyes, and was very nervous. It's an old husband and wife, what are you nervous about? Hyuga-chen pinched Shui Haim's little nose and kissed Shui Haim's white and smooth face. Brother, what are you doing? How come you and sister Shui Haim are playing by themselves, and I'll be angry if you don't play with me? Lalula said, pulling Hyuga-chen's hair hard. Looking at Lalu lassie who was standing aside, Shui Haim's face became more yuhi, and she quickly pushed Hyuga-chen away. Go play with Lalula's, I'll go first. Shui Haim left in a panic. Hyuga-chen scratched his head, not understanding why Shui Haim was so shy, but Shui Haim was really cute when she was shy. Brother, come here quickly, we are playing cards, you are not allowed to run. Lalu lassie grabbed Hyuga-chen's arm, for fear that Hyuga-chen would run away. It's not that Lalu lassie is vigilant, but Hyuga-chen has a precedent, so Lalu lassie is so vigilant. After playing cards with Lalu lassie for a long time, maybe Lalu lassie was tired and ran to sleep, and Hyuga-chen was able to escape. Shui Haim goodbye. Hyuga-chen left the system space and came out to see Tsunade and Kushina fighting. What's wrong with you guys? It wasn't good yesterday. Hyuga-chen couldn't help but ask. Yesterday there was still a friendship in arms, so why is it like an enemy now? Damn Kushina, let me go first. Tsunade said, her cheek was swollen from the pinched yuhi, it really hurt. How can I let go? I have to go back to what happened before. Kushina said unconvinced. If she let go now, wouldn't she suffer? She doesn't want to suffer. Kushina, will never suffer. Hyuga-chen wanted to persuade him, but the two of them, like life and death enemies, didn't listen to persuasion at all. Hyuga-chen didn't bother, and suppressed them both first. To actually fight, I think you guys just need to clean up. Do you want to be cleaned up again? Hyuga-chen pressed one in one hand and said viciously. She moved the hand first, and she bullied me first. Kushina looked aggrieved. What's the matter? Tsunade looked embarrassed, she was indeed the one who moved first. Before Kushina didn't recover his strength, he wanted to bully her. Later, Kushina regained some strength. The character of Kushina who refuses to admit defeat will definitely not be the case. Tsunade is also a strong character, so the two of them started to fight. The swollen faces of the two yuhi, Hyuga-chen felt angry and funny. They were adults, not children, and they were fighting like children. Tsunade, you're older than Kushina, can't you let her go first? Hyuga-chen blamed. That's right, I don't have the demeanor of being an older sister at all. Kushina suddenly became mad when she saw Hyuga-chen on her side, and pointed to Tsunade for education. Don't talk about her, you also give me reflection. Hyuga-chen reprimanded. Now it was Tsunade's turn to be complacent, and cast a smug look at Kushina. Kushina was instantly furious and was about to continue fighting. Hyuga-chen was so annoyed that she even had to pinch me, when I didn't exist. It seems that the two of them must be taught a lesson before they can be honest. Chapter 392. Is this fair? Snapped. A crisp sound. Kushina covered her ass and looked at Hyuga-chen angrily. Look at what? Believe it or not, I'll slap again. Hyuga-chen gestured at Kushina, and Kushina quickly shrank his head in fright, and buried his head in the quilt in embarrassment. To actually hit someone, it was still in front of Tsunade, a nasty, murderous girl. Kushina said that she was really embarrassed. Tsunade covered his mouth and snickered, making you proud, but you dared to continue dancing, now you have been taught a lesson. But Tsunade didn't get too complacent. In order not to favor one another over another, Hyuga-chen also gave her a slap. Tsunade's smug look disappeared instantly, and he looked at Hyuga-chen resentfully. Yeah, deserve it. Kushina lifted her head from the quilt. Snapped. Kushina, who was slapped again, looked at Hyuga-chen aggrievedly. It's not fair, why did you slap me twice before you slapped her once? I'm not convinced. Hyuga-chen thought for a while, felt that what Kushina said made sense, and then slapped Tsunade again. However, Tsunade felt innocent, and I didn't deliberately mock Kushina. Why should I get this slap? Tsunade was also dissatisfied. After Tsunade said it, Hyuga-chen felt that what Tsunade said was also reasonable, and then slapped Kushina back. But Kushina was still not happy, and in this cycle, Hyuga-chen walked out of the room after half an hour. And Kushina and Tsunade were lying on the bed with tears streaming down their cheeks. Now both of them are convinced, and it's not fair. If they are not convinced, their butts will be smashed. It's all your fault. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be so miserable. Kushina said dully. Blame me. I blame you. Believe it or not. Are you two going to continue fighting again? Hyuga-chen asked as he pushed open the door. No, our relationship is so good, how could we possibly fight, isn't it Kushina? Yes, Sister Tsunade is right. We are distant relatives. Sister Tsunade has been very good to me since I was a child. We were all joking before, how could there be conflicts? That's good. Hyuga-chen closed the door. Seeing Hyuga-chen closing the door, Tsunade and Kushina breathed a sigh of relief, then looked at each other with disgust, lying on the bed without speaking. Their butt hammer was swollen, and now they must recover first, otherwise, if they go out like this, they will be laughed at by Makoto, Terumi-mei and the others. Tsunade and Kushina naturally don't want to be laughed at, so let's continue to lie down here. Anyway, with their physique, it doesn't take long for them to recover, no more than 5 minutes at most. The two women, who recovered quickly, glared at each other and walked out of the room. When the other women saw the two women come out, they all showed smiles on their faces. The two of them had been fighting for a long time, how could others not know? What are you laughing at? Kushina's face turned Yuhi. That's right, our sisters exchange feelings. I really don't know what you are laughing at. Tsunade put his arms around Kushina's shoulders, showing that they were good sisters. Hyuga-chen looks funny. I guess this is the real superficial sister. Being a sister is too superficial. Are you exchanging feelings? Forgive my ignorance, I have never seen such a way of exchanging feelings. Makoto covered his mouth and snickered. Perhaps this is their special way of communicating. The smile on Sarah's face did not hide at all. Why don't you perform again and let us see how your sisters are deeply in love, Terumi-mei said. Tsunade and Kushina had hashtags on their foreheads, and they clenched their fists and wanted to hit people. The most angry was Kushina. The sister Makoto didn't help her at all, and she was cheating on her before. At this time, Kushina suddenly remembered that she had been thrown into the house by Makoto, Konan and Otsutsuki Kagaya before, and her face suddenly turned gloomy. I almost forgot about it. If I really forgot, wouldn't I have let go of the culprit? You three, quickly give me an explanation, otherwise don't blame me. Kushina is cruel. Kushina caught Konan before Konan was not prepared. Sister Kushina, what are you arresting me for? What explanation do you want? Let me go first, okay? Konan said with a guilty conscience. Terumi-mei has a constant smile on her face. She is still the smartest. She didn't intervene at the beginning. Now it's fine to watch the show. Fortunately, she resisted the urge in her heart before. Otherwise, the one caught by Kushina now is likely to be her. Conan, have you also learned to pretend to be confused? Kushina said with a sneer. Throwing her in, made her weak, and was bullied by Tsunade, and finally educated by Chen, all because of the three of them. No, it's none of my business. Sister Makoto asked me to help. Conan pointed the finger at Makoto without hesitation. Makoto clutched at his heart, expressing that he was very hurt. Even if she is the principal, you are also the accomplice, and you have a share. Kushina said, she would not be easily fooled. Conan raised his hands in surrender. Sister Kushina, I was wrong, I apologize, can you let me go? Tilda someone said this before, you should change your lines. Kushina sneered, if it was so easy to let you go, would it be worthy of my suffering? Brother, please save me. Seeing that Kushina was indifferent, Conan could only look at Hyuga-chan. Hyuga-chan spreads his hands, expressing his inability to do anything. Conan bit Kiba, the nasty brother, who didn't come to save her. It seems that he can only rely on himself. Sister Kushina, just say what you want to do to me. I'm ready, Conan bit Kiba and said. If you do something wrong, you have to admit it, especially if you do something wrong and get caught, but you have to admit it when you can't beat others. Yes, Conan, you are very sensible. Kushina nodded in satisfaction. Since you are an accomplice and your attitude of admitting your mistakes is so sincere, I will let you go and not hold you at fault. Conan saw Kushina let go of himself, and his expression was stunned. He didn't expect Kushina to let her go so easily. It's not unconditional to let you go. You have to help me arrest Makoto and Kagaya-hime. Kushina stated his main purpose. Since she couldn't catch Makoto and Kagaya herself, she wanted Conan to help. Conan, please don't listen to her. Makoto, who had been laughing all the time, put away his smile, stood up and pulled Conan over here. Conan, I let you go, you have to speak your conscience. Conan, think about it, the three of us are not afraid of her at all, and we can even catch Kushina and teach him a lesson, so why should we listen to her? Kagaya walked over and said. Kushina stomped her feet angrily. She shouldn't have let Conan go, but fortunately Conan had a more conscience and said he was neutral. Although Kushina is dissatisfied, it is also better than Conan and Makoto, Kagaya-hime, two hateful women, to deal with him together. Chapter 393 Daily Slapstick. Makoto, I didn't expect you to be such a Makoto, I Kushina have seen you through today. Kushina looked at Makoto with a sad face. So what are you trying to say? Makoto looked at Kushina blankly. I'm trying to persuade you to turn back, don't repent. Kushina said with a sad face. Makoto is speechless, it's too exaggerated. Looking at the indifference of the two of you, I knew that you would not repent. If you insist on forcing me to do it, you will die. Kushina swooped on him. Then, of course, no then. Sadly, Kushina was suppressed by Makoto and Kagaya-hime, and she exhausted all her strength, but could not break free. It's unfair for the two of you to hit me. Let's do it all over again, one-on-one. Kushina, who was pressed down on the sofa, said unconvinced. Kushina, in my hands you still want to run. Kagaya-hime sneered twice, and Kushina's heart trembled as she laughed. What do you want to do? Yesterday's account is over, let me go. I won't hold you at fault. Kushina said fearfully. Will Otsutsuki Kagaya let her go? The two of them have been hostile for a long time, and they managed to catch Kushina, how could they easily let her go? Makoto. Kushina looked at Makoto with pitiful eyes at this time. If Makoto didn't save her, then she wouldn't be bullied to death by Otsutsuki Kagaya. Kushina, what are you looking at me for? Makoto asked playfully. Humph. Do you think I really can't do anything about it? Kushina snorted, her eyes full of confidence. How do you get out now? Makoto and Kagaya-hime grabbed Kushina from left to right, they didn't believe Kushina could get away. Chen, look at them bullying me, you still haven't come to help. Kushina used the technique of calling Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen glanced at Kushina, then ignored her. Damn, Chen, you just need to help me subdue the two of them, I promise to make you feel great tonight. Kushina used her ultimate move. After Hyuga-chen heard it, her ears moved, and her heart began to stir. Kushina, don't lie to me, or you'll have to pay a huge price. Hyuga-chen warned Kushina, and then shot to easily subdue Otsutsuki Kagaya and Makoto. Chen, what are you doing? Let us go quickly. Kagaya and Makoto struggled in Hyuga-chen's arms. Hey, today I'll let you know how good I am, Kushina. Kushina showed a sinister smile and took out a rope in his hand. Hyuga-chen watched Kushina's wicked smile and couldn't help but mourn for Makoto and Kagaya. Tsunade looked at Kushina, who had no good intentions, and silently exited the living room, so as not to harm Chiyu for a while. In fact, Tsunade's approach was very wise. Chen, you sealed their power. Kushina commanded. Hyuga-chen obediently sealed Kagaya and Makoto's chakra, and he was curious about what Kushina was going to do. Kushina tied the two of them with ropes and hung them from the roof, looking at them with a smug expression. You hang here. Hyuga-chen looked disappointed, originally thought what would happen to Kushina. I didn't expect it to be like this. So what am I disappointed in? Kushina, you really disappointed me, but don't forget your previous promise. Hyuga-chen patted Kushina's shoulder and said. What promise? Why don't I know? I seem to have lost my memory. Kushina covered her head exaggeratedly, and the corners of her mouth twitched when Hyuga-chen watched. Since you've lost your memory, Kushina, would you like me to help you remember? Hyuga-chen said maliciously. Forget it, I seem to remember it again, but not tonight, how about tomorrow night? Kushina hugged Hyuga-chen's arm and rubbed her head on Hyuga-chen's arm. Okay, then give you a day. Who will let me talk to you? Put me down quickly, hurry up, Chen, whatever Kushina promises you, I'll promise you. Makoto shouted. Hyuga-chen looked at Kushina, then put Makoto down. Kushina didn't say anything, she still needed Makoto to share the firepower. At this time the three cast their eyes on Otsutsuki Kagaya. Why are you looking at the concubine? Hang it if you hang it. The concubine will never give in anyway. Kagaya said proudly. If you have the backbone, then you can stay there. Hyuga-chen pulled Kushina and Makoto out. Sudden, Kagaya was left in the house. Kagaya, who was hanging from the roof, wept silently. Did he really leave me alone? Just when Kagaya was crying secretly, she suddenly felt her body's strength and chakra recovered. She was overjoyed and quickly broke the rope. It's really fragrant. What are you doing? Hyuga-chen could smell a scent from a distance away. Grilled fish, it's already grilled. Conan handed a grilled fish to Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen held this fragrant grilled fish and couldn't help drooling, it was really fragrant. I bought the fish, I bought the fresh fish from the fisherman at the beach. Anko raised his hand to ask for credit. Really, you didn't buy it by yourself, but we went together, as if the credit goes to you. Kurenai Yuhi said involuntarily. The taste is good, but Conan's craftsmanship is good. Hyuga-chen praised. Conan smiled happily, but Anko was not satisfied. She played a part in it, why not praise her? Hinata, Sakura, Ino, are you used to here? It's okay, it's interesting to experience a different life occasionally, I think it's good. Ino said happily, she was happier here. The main reason is that this is an island, close to the sea, and seeing the sea Ino can't help but yearn for it. As long as Brother Chen is here, Hinata said shyly with her head down. After Hinata finished speaking, the girls cast contemptuous glances at Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen shrugged, not paying any attention to these contemptuous eyes. No way, his face is so thick. What do you think, little Hanabi? Hyuga-chen pinched Hanabi's bulging cheeks. Hanabi swallowed the meat in his mouth and said, the fish is delicious. Then eat it. Be careful of the fishbone. Hyuga-chen said, although most fish in the sea don't have many fish bones, it's not that there are none. If you're not careful, you can really get stuck. Leave some for me. Kagaya ran over and glanced at Hyuga-chen with resentful eyes. Why are you here? Aren't you still hanging from the roof? Kushina asked involuntarily. Then looking at Shang-chen, it is only possible that Chen let her go. Kagaya glared at Kushina angrily. She was going to settle accounts with Kushina after eating. Although she didn't suffer, she just felt unhappy and had to take revenge. Kushina felt Kagaya's gaze and immediately turned back, not afraid of her at all. It was a big deal. Chapter 394 Tailed Beast Capture begins. Hyuga-chen lived very leisurely in Kurigakure village, but the movement in the ninja world is not small now. The first is that the mission of chasing Uchiha Sasuke failed, and Uzumaki Naruto finally failed to bring back Uchiha Sasuke. When Naruto Uzumaki and others formed a team to pursue Sasuke Uchiha, Sunagakure village did not know what was going on, and sent Gaara to assist. Jiraiya did not refuse the assistance of Sunagakure village, and he had no reason to refuse, but he was not without vigilance towards Sunagakure village Jiraiya. The reputation of Sunagakure village is really bad. If Konoha village is not weakened a lot, Jiraiya will not be allied with Sunagakure village anymore. Tearing up the alliance agreement twice, it was really hard for Jiraiya to believe in Sunagakure village, but when people came to help with kindness, Jiraiya couldn't refuse. As for whether it is really kind or not, this is up to one's own guesses. In fact, Sunagakure village did not have any bad intentions. The situation in Sunagakure village is indeed not good. This time, I want to show Konoha the sincerity of Sunagakure village. Only in this way can Sunagakure village and Konoha strengthen cooperation. Now Sunagakure village really wants to cooperate with Konoha. Because only relying on Konoha can help Sunagakure village overcome difficulties, Sunagakure village is now too poor to open the pot. Despite Gaara's help, Orochimaru's men have no one to deal with, especially Orochimaru's ace Kimimaro. Kimimaro's strength is very strong. After all, it is Orochimaru's most promising reincarnation vessel. If it weren't for the reason of blood disease, Orochimaru would choose Kimimaro as his reincarnation vessel. Gaara at this time is definitely not Kimimaro's opponent, but his body dragged him down, resulting in the final death of Shueiji disease, which is also very sad to say. During the battle, he fell ill and died. It can only be said that Kimimaro is a dragon, and Gaara is a supporting role. It must be the dragon that is going to die. If Kimimaro doesn't get sick, let's not kill Gaara, but Gaara will definitely die if he doesn't call out Yue. After Naruto and Sasuke fought in the Valley of the End, Naruto used the power of Kyuubi, Nine Tails, and Rasengan, while Sasuke added Chidori using the spell seal mode. In the end, Sasuke won, and Naruto fell to the ground in a coma. Afterwards, Naruto, who felt the lack of strength, decided to follow Jiraiya to practice. He must bring Uchiha Sasuke back, which has become Uzumaki Naruto's obsession. Naruto practiced with Jiraiya, but Jiraiya has become Hokage. At most Shadow Clone can only teach Naruto. Hokage's business is very busy, Jiraiya often works late, and it is impossible to have time to teach Naruto. After Sasuke's defection, the ninja world fell into a strange calm, but the storm was about to come, and Akatsuki also began to prepare for the final plan. Long as the location of all the tailed beasts is completely found out, Akatsuki will be dispatched, and when the countries are not prepared, they will catch all the tailed beasts. The plan to capture the tailed beast must be fast. If it is slow to be reacted by various countries, Akatsuki will be besieged by various countries. Even Nagato, who is confident, dare not say that he will win in the face of the five great powers. However, Nagato at this time is stronger than Nagato in the original book. Even if he cannot win against the five major countries, he will not lose too much. If it wasn't for Nagato's use of Rinnegan to consume too much, he would be able to sweep away all the shinobi villages in Kurigakure village. Now that there are Hyuga-chen and the others in Kurigakure village, Nagato can't even come out of a bubble. Time has passed, and 2 years have passed in the blink of an eye, and Akatsuki has almost collected information about the tailed beast. One tale is in Sunagakur village, and the person Jinchuriki column force is the current Kazekage Gara. Second tale is taken back by Kumogakure village again. 3 tales have also confirmed the position, and there is no one Jinchuriki column force. 4-tailed old purple wandering in the ninja world. It may be difficult for others to find, but it is definitely not difficult to find. 5 tails have never been caught since they became Hyuga Chen's psychic beast, and even people in the ninja world couldn't find any trace of it, otherwise Iwagakure village would have taken it back. However, although the 5 tails can hide, they still can't escape the white Zetsu clones that are almost all over the ninja world, and they are also discovered by white Zetsu. Jinchuriki column, a 6-tailed man, defected from Kurigakure village, but was also found by white Zetsu. Naneo has been in Taki ninja village, and this is the best one to find. Killer B, the previous person, Jinchuriki column force. So Yaao also died with the person Jinchuriki column force, but now Yaao has been resurrected. White Zetsu has successfully found the traces of Yao's activities, but has not confirmed the specific location of Yaao, but it is coming soon. The last Kyubi 9 tails is in Konoha, and the Kyubi 9 tails Jinchuriki column forces basically know who they are. The seals need to be sealed in order. Sasori, Deidara, you 2 go to catch Yue first. I think it should be no problem. Heavenly Path Pain asked lightly. No problem, there are only 1 tail, and the tailed beast with the fewest tails should be the weakest. Deidara said disdainfully. Because there is only 1 tail per tail, although it is not the weakest among the tailed beasts, it is still regarded as the weakest tailed beast by people. Don't be careless, Deidara, you have to win a tail in Sunagakur village. It's not that difficult, Heavenly Path Pain reminded. He was afraid that because of Deidara's carelessness, the final bad thing would be bad. Don't worry, Chief, Sunagakur village is the weakest among the 5 great ninja villages. Why should you block me? Deidara, what are you talking about? Sasori's tone was slightly angry, and he actually said in front of him that Sunagakur village is the weakest. Don't he know that he is also from Sunagakur village? Although Sasori has defected, that doesn't mean he can insult Sunagakur village. Senior Sasori is angry. Am I right? That Kazekage kid is really qualified to be Kazekage. Deidara's series of rhetorical questions left Sasori speechless. Looking at the current situation, Sunagakur village is indeed not strong, and has become the weakest ninja village recognized by the ninja world. When I learned that Gara became Kazekage, the shadows of the major shinobi villages almost died of laughter, and the Sunagakur village was really empty. Gara is only 16 years old now, about the same age as Naruto, and his strength is really the weakest of the 5 shadows. Don't be careless, Pain said finally. If the 2 of them really died because of carelessness, Pain would not avenge 4.5 and them. In fact, the Akatsuki staff had no feelings for each other. Pain just sees these people as pawns for peace. Kakuzu, Senju Nawaki, you are in charge of our way. After sealing the first, you will seal the second. The speed must be fast. Pain then ordered Kisame Hoshigaki and Uchiha Itachi to bring Mitsu back and send everyone in Akatsuki out. The plan has finally started. It's been a long time since I've waited. I will create real peace. Yahiko, you'll see. Nagato muttered to himself. Then Nagato also set off. The plan should not be slow at the beginning. Nagato, according to Ju's information, personally took Pain 6 paths to arrest the 4-tailed Jinchuriki column Lee Lousy. If Nagato, the leader of Akatsuki's bright face, can be dispatched in person, Lousy's face is big enough. Chapter 395 Gara was arrested. The land of winds, Sasori and Deidara are walking in the desert against the wind and sand. Deidara is very dissatisfied with the environment here. Even the land of earth, which often rains rocks, is dozens of times stronger than the land of wind, which does not shit. I feel sorry for you living in a place like this, Deidara said, shaking her head. Shut up, if you dare to talk nonsense again, I will make you a puppet and let you know what eternal art is. Sasori said in a low voice. What eternal art? Real art only exists in the moment of bloom, explosion is the real art. Only blooming in an instant is just a moment of youth. It can't be regarded as art. Only art that exists forever is art. Those of you are just children's toys. What? You're saying my art is a toy? Deidara was furious. He hated people who didn't agree with his art. Come on, I'm going to prove my art to you. I don't have time to talk to you, the main thing now is to complete Pain's mission. Sasori glanced at Deidara lightly, then left. Wrap myself in a puppet all day, and call it art, it's ridiculous. After completing mission 28, I'll have to prove my art to you. Deidara whispered. Along the way, I finally arrived at Sunagakure village. During this period, Deidara was about to explode. Sasori's speed was really unbelievable. Usually Sasori hides himself in Fei Liuhu, and Fei Liuhu's movement speed is a flaw, especially in the desert. Deidara felt that Sasori was getting angry when he walked, and even this kind of thing dared to call it art. He really wanted to blow him up and let Sasori know what the art of explosion was. Maybe Uncle Sasori might like his explosive art. Since Sasori was under Sunagakure village's neighing, they easily entered Sunagakure village. I'm going to catch Gaara myself, you wait here. With your dawdling look, I'm really afraid that you will be found and implicated in me. Sasori didn't get angry when he heard Deidara's rude words, but said lightly, don't make me wait too long, I don't like waiting for others, you should also know. I'm not a dawdling guy like you. I won't make you wait too long. I want to show Sunagakure village my Deidara's explosive art. Deidara's eyes were full of anticipation. Exploding clay giant bird. Deidara sat on the giant bird and flew into the sky. A little gift for you first, C1 clay spider. The densely packed clay spiders exploded under Deidara's sip. Although the clay spiders were not very powerful, they managed to attract the attention of Sunagakure village. What is that flying in the sky, like a strange bird with a person on it? No, it should be an enemy attack, hurry up and inform Kazekage. Use ninjutsu to knock down that giant bird. The Sunagakure below was caught in a riot. I didn't expect that someone would blatantly attack the Sunagakure village. It's time to give you a big gift, C3 number 18. Deidara didn't talk nonsense at all, and she made a big move when she came up. This guy is really messed up. Sasori looked at the falling puppet and hurriedly found a place to hide. He knew very well the power of Deidara's move. Art is explosion, drink tilde. Boom. Spread throughout Sunagakure village, and even if the circumstances were different, Deidara's number 18 was still blocked by the empty sand wall. Gaara was a little out of breath, but because the blasting clay was not mixed in the sand this time, Gaara was not directly turned over and could continue to fight. Yes, you can actually block my C3 number 18. It seems that your Kazekage is indeed not weak. Deidara didn't get angry when he saw that his ultimate move was blocked, but looked at Gaara with admiration. This is also interesting, if it can be easily solved, what is the point? You all stand back, the enemy is not for you, Gaara said. After Sunagakure heard the order, he stepped back unwillingly. Who the hell are you? Why are you attacking Sunagakure village? Gaara asked, and after Uzumaki Naruto's mouth escaped, Gaara was no longer the crazy kid he used to be. C2 Dragon. Deidara used the blasting clay to create a giant flying dragon, then jumped on the flying dragon and let the flying dragon spray the blasting clay downward to attack. Damn, facing this kind of flying ninja, he was really passive. Especially Deidara flies very high and keeps throwing clay bombs below. Although Gaara can defend easily, he cannot attack Deidara. This idiot, if the stalemate continues, it will be difficult to attract those two people. Sasori said in the distance, looking at the stalemate. Looks like I'm going to make a move too. Sasori controlled Hiryuhu to move towards Gaara not far away. Gaara was concentrating on defending against the clay bombs, and suddenly felt a chill behind her, and then the sand in the gourd behind her automatically protected her body, forming a sand shield to block Fei Liuhu's Sasori tail. Cold sweat couldn't help but stay. If it wasn't for the sand's automatic body protection, he would be seriously injured if he didn't die. Another one. Who the hell are you guys? Gaara's face was very ugly. The same clothes, they were accomplices, even an organization. Senior Sasori, I can handle it myself. What do you mean by meddling like this? Deidara fell to the ground in annoyance. Don't talk nonsense, hurry up, or it will be difficult to leave. Sasori said seriously. Sunagakure village is not just a cage. Okay. Although Deidara was upset, she still agreed to join forces with Sasori. My 470 era is difficult to deal with one, let alone two, and Sasori's strength is very strong, stronger than Deidara. Soon Gaara couldn't hold it anymore and was knocked out by Deidara's clay bomb, but Deidara was also injured. I don't know if it was Deidara's fate, but his left arm was also ripped off by Gaara. Let's go. Deidara took the unconscious Gaara and left with Sasori on a clay dragon. Deidara was torn off an arm this time. She successfully completed the mission. When Chiyo and Ebizo arrived, Gaara had already been taken away. Looking at the ruined Sunagakure village, the two of them were worried. Their Sunagakure village offended some immortal, otherwise how could it be so unlucky? The third generation of Cage disappeared for no reason, and the fourth generation of Cage committed suicide. Now the fifth generation of Cage, being taken away in the Sunagakure village, it is a shame. If it spreads out, will they still have a face in Sunagakure village? Sister, the best way right now is to ask for help from Konoha, hoping to get help from Konoha, Ebizo said. Now I can only ask Konoha to send someone to help them get Gaara back. On their own strength in Sunagakure village, I am afraid it is not enough. After all, the opponent can defeat Gaara and leave in a short time, which shows the strength of the opponent. Even if they shot, they may not be able to save Gaara. Chapter 396. Are you out of your mind? It's our Sunagakure village's own business. It's not good if we ask others to help. Chiyo said hesitantly. It's shameful enough for Cage to be taken away in his own village. If he asks Konoha's people for help, it would be a shame to throw him at his grandma's house. Sister, this is not the time to think about this. Let's save Gaara first. Can we save Gaara with just our two old guys? Ebizo was almost in a hurry. Years make people grow old. They used to be cage-level masters, but now they are not masters, and their strength has seriously declined. Especially Ebizo, now the equivalent of elite Jonin at best, has fallen the most. Chiyo is a puppet master, which is better than that, but you can't expect Chiyo to rescue Gaara. Sister, Gaara is the hope of our Sunagakure village. Face is not important. Without Gaara, who can support Sunagakure village? Ebizo knows that his sister cares about Face, and the other is that the hatred with Konoha is too deep, and he doesn't want to help Konoha, but now they can only help Konoha. Konoha may still ignore them. Can the other Onoki and Reikage ignore them? Now is not the time to save Face. Okay. After Ebizo's repeated persuasion, Chiyo nodded helplessly. Looking at the entire Sunagakure village, there are only a few elite Jonin, so Gaara must not have an accident. Sunagakure village sent a letter to Konoha, saying that Cage was captured by a mysterious organization, hoping to get help from Konoha. Receiving the letter, Jiraiya thought for a while, then agreed, and informed Kakashi might die. They brought Uzumaki Naruto, Hyuga Neji and the others to help, and Asuma's class also sent over. Jiraiya helped Sunagakure village to test Akatsuki's strength. Through the information from Uchiha Itachi, Jiraiya already knew about this organization. But the ultimate purpose and plan of this organization, which Jiraiya did not know, Uchiha Itachi did not come back. Alas, an eventful time, Jiraiya said with emotion. Akatsuki's plan has begun. Terumi said, holding the message sent by his subordinates. Let's start. It has nothing to do with us. I can kill them all with one punch. Tsunade clenched his fist. That's right, I really hope they can summon 10 tails, then I'll go exercise my muscles and bones. Kushina's fists were swaying fiercely. Don't be so violent, learn from Makoto, Hinata, Rin and the others. Hyuga-chan said. Do I have one? Kushina pointed to himself in amazement. Samui, do you think I'm violent? Kushina grabbed Samui next to him and asked. You are not violent or not, don't you think about it yourself? Hyuga-chan spit out. Samui, who was caught, was embarrassed. How could she answer such a question? What do you think, Yugito? Samui suddenly switched the subject to Yugito, then took the opportunity to step back. Yugito was stunned. He didn't expect Samui to be so unscrupulous, and he threw the hot potato to himself. I think it's better to let Pakura talk. Yugito took the opportunity to run away, and Mabuyi, who was standing not far from Yugito, ran with Yugito very wisely. Pakura was speechless when he saw Azabuyi who had run away. Why did the person who picked up the potato ran away? I don't think it's violent, Pakura said with a conscience that hurts. Pakura, if you speak against your conscience, you will be struck by lightning. Hyuga-chan stood up and patted Pakura's girl on the shoulder. You give me death. Kushina looked at Hyuga-chan, who was always breaking the stage, angrily, and threw a small fist and punched you in the chest. It hurts, are you going to kill me? Murder my husband. Hyuga-chan flipped Byakugan and fell to the ground. Get up quickly, don't look at how dirty the ground is. Makoto quickly pulled Hyuga-chan up. Don't touch me, I have been beaten to death by Kushina, you have to avenge me. Then just lie down here. Makoto let go, and Hyuga-chan was dumbfounded. Seeing that no one took care of him lying on the ground for a long time, he could only get up helplessly. Go out and see if Gaara is dead. Hyuga-chan used space ninjutsu to leave. When Hyuga-chan came to the place where Akatsuki had drawn one tail, the tail beasts had been drawn, leaving Sasori of the Red Sand and Deidara who were blocked. It's too late, it's all over. Hyuga-chan was speechless. It seems that the intelligence department of Kurigakure village is not good. It must have been information from several days ago, right? Sasori finally chose to stay and fight his grandmother, and then died because of the water. Of course he couldn't live without the water. Because Guy is guarding here. Even if Sasori doesn't release water, he is not Might Guy's opponent. Might Guy who opens 7 doors can easily knock him out. Deidara ran away, and Chiyo's mother-in-law chose to use the forbidden technique of reincarnation to resurrect Gaara. Gaara was rescued, but the tail was lost, and they also knew Akatsuki's purpose, which was to capture the tail beast. At the same time, the 2-tailed Jinchuriki column force of Kumogakure village, and the free 3 tails were all captured by Akatsuki, and the 4-tailed Old Purple was also captured by Nagato. Just a few days, Akatsuki had already caught the 4-headed beast, which was quite efficient. Hyuga-chan watched the end scene, and then went back depressed. You're back so soon, didn't you bring a little sister back? Kushina leaned over and looked behind Hyuga-chan. Don't look at it, I didn't bring any little sisters, I forgot it because I was too busy. Hyuga-chan gave Kushina an angry look. It's not that I didn't want to, but I forgot. Terumi-Mei came over and blinked at Hyuga-chan. I think you need to clean up too, let's see how I can fix you. Hyuga-chan picked up Terumi-Mei and walked towards the house. Terumi-Mei waved her arms and shouted, but it was of no use, and was carried into the house by Hyuga-tatsu. Sarah, you have such a good relationship with Terumi-Mei, hurry up and help her. Conan reached out and pushed Sarah. Who said that I have a good relationship with Terumi-Mei? We are only on the surface, just like the two of you, Makoto and Kushina. Sarah shook her head and said. We're different, we're really good sisters, aren't we Makoto? Kushina lay on Makoto's back. Yes, we're the best sisters, Sarah, don't compare your plastic relationship with Terumi-Mei to us. Makoto said. Hee hee, to Makoto and Kushina's words, why didn't we see that your sister's feelings were so deep? I have a good relationship with Sister Terumi-May. I can't bear to see her suffer. I want to go in and help her. Karen adjusted her glasses, and then wanted to go inside the house. Come back to me. Izumi stretched out her hand and pulled Karen back, not even trying to get in the door. Karen, who was caught by Izumi, wanted to cry but stared at Izumi with resentful eyes. Chapter 397. Can you reward me with a loving kiss? Izumi, this time you have to give me an explanation. Why are you stopping me? Karen asked angrily. Uchiha Izumi didn't know how to explain it. I didn't say anything for a long time, and finally chose to remain silent. I fought with you. Karen squeezed Izumi's neck hard, and such a good opportunity disappeared because of Izumi. Karen, it's actually too late for you to go in now. Kushina joked with a smile. Yeah, Karen let go of Izumi and rushed towards the house, only to be caught and pinned to the ground by Izumi. Ah, Uchiha Izumi, I'll never let you go this time. Karen yelled angrily, even dropping his glasses on the ground accidentally. After a long while, Hyuga-chen came out comfortably, but Terumi-May didn't come out. She is now lying on the bed weakly resting. What are you two doing? Hyuga-chen couldn't help but ask Karen and Izumi, who were fighting on the ground. Isn't the relationship between the two of them very good? Why is it similar to the enemy now? Karen and Izumi ignored Hyuga Tatsu and huddled on the ground like bitches. What's going on? Hyuga-chan looked at the girls who were eating melon beside him. It's not because of you, brother. Conan rolled his eyes at him. 633 inches because of me. Hyuga-chen pointed to himself, then pouted. I think the two of them had nothing to do. Why don't you just assign them some tasks? Looking at the two girls who continued to fight, Hyuga-chan thought to herself. Seeing that you have nothing to do, can I give you a task to do? Hyuga-chen asked. What mission? Are there any special rewards? Karen quickly got up from the ground and knocked the dust off her body. Special reward? What special reward do you want? Hyuga-chan asked amusingly. Karen smiled when he heard the words, then rubbed his hands together and said, Can you reward me with a loving kiss? Bah, Karen, you're so shameless. Izumi stomped her feet shyly, her expression very shy. Karen didn't know how shy she was. That's right, Karen, you're so shameless. Izumi is right. Yugao said with his fist raised. Even her cute and charming little apprentice didn't want to kiss. Karen dared to speak so bluntly. Karen gave Izumi and Yugao a disdainful look. She is different from these cowards. She is an activist. You people, please give me a hard look. Do you really want it? Hyuga-chen approached Karen. Is this a reward, or a benefit to himself? That's right. Karen nodded frantically, and even the eyes he just put on fell to the ground. Isn't it bad for the teacher? The mother is still watching here. How can you agree to this kind of reward? Nohara Rin said quickly. Uzumaki Karen, I give you a chance to speak again. You should cherish it. Kurenai Yuhi stared at Uzumaki Karen with menacing eyes. Facing the threatening eyes, Karen was not afraid at all. Anyway, she was not weaker than them. Although one person was not their opponent, she was not afraid of them either. What's more, Karen has Uchiha Izumi as an ally. Uchiha Izumi now has Rinnegan, and his strength is much stronger than Hyuga-chan's 4 female apprentices. Is it okay? Karen ignored the 4 Kurenai Yuhi daughters, then hugged Hyuga-chan's arm coquettishly. Do you really want it? Hyuga-chen asked again. Uzumaki Karen nodded tirelessly, afraid that she would break her neck. Then talk about it when you get back from your mission. What mission? Hurry up and give it to me, no matter what mission I can complete. Uzumaki Karen said, full of fighting spirit. Go to King Wuwei. I think Akatsuki's people should go to find it. After you find it, ask if it wants to come back with you. If you want, bring it back. If you don't want to, leave him alone. Hyuga-chan said. Five-tailed King Mew is also his psychic beast, although this psychic beast has not come in handy. Just this task. It's easy, let's go. Uzumaki Karen took Uchiha Izumi's hand and left quickly. Hyuga-chen was speechless. He hadn't told them the location of King Mew of the Five Tails. I really don't know where they are going to find them. Don't complain that I didn't tell you. You two ran too fast. Hyuga-chen shook his head and said. What are you looking for, Wu-wei? Wu-wei doesn't look very good. Do you want to keep it as a pet? Sarah asked. No, I don't like the Five Tails, but this guy is also my psychic beast after all. If he knows the appearance, save him once. The strength of the five-tailed Mew King Hyuga-chen also did not look down on him, and this time he also saw that it was his own psychic beast, so Hyuga-chen helped at once. Of course, if this guy is ignorant, Hyuga-chen won't care about it either. By the way, I also find something for Karen and Izumi to do, otherwise the two of them don't know when they will fight. Where are we going to find King Mew of Wu-wei? Uchiha Izumi asked speechlessly after coming out. Karen scratched his head awkwardly, as if he really didn't know where to look. Let's go to Akatsuki's people. Aren't they going to catch the tailed beast? Those who follow them will definitely find the five-tailed King Mew. Karen said witly. The ninja world is so big, where are we going to find people from Akatsuki? Uchiha Izumi turned to Byakugan. I'm very good at finding someone. If you don't want to do the quest, you can go back. The reward won't be yours. Karen raised his head and said proudly. Uchiha Izumi bit Kiba and followed behind Uzumaki Karen. I'm not worried about your safety, so I'll just follow you. Aren't you good at finding someone? Go find someone now. Karen smiled smugly. She knew it was going to happen. Akatsuki's lair is in the country of rain. Let's go to the country of rain first. I don't believe that Uzumaki Karen is here. Can't we find Akatsuki's people? Relying on their powerful strength, they are also daring artists, and they dare to venture into Akatsuki's lair. If they really go to Akatsuki's lair, with Akatsuki's strength, it seems that they really can't do anything to them. That's why Hyuga-chen let them out at ease. Uchiha Izumi owns Rinnegan, and this Rinnegan is her own. She can easily control the various powers of Rinnegan, not as hard as Nagato. If Nagato wants to use Rinnegan's ultimate move, it will consume a huge amount of vitality. Rinnegan is a reminder to Nagato. The most important thing is that the two of them, as well as the means left by Hyuga-chen, will never have an accident. The speed of the two of them was very fast, mainly because Uzumaki Karen was in a hurry to complete the task, and they crossed the sea directly on the water. Actually, I can fly with you, much faster than that. Uchiha Izumi said after finally arriving on the mainland. Uzumaki Karen's mother sold the batch, so why didn't you say it earlier? Did you say I still run on the sea with such hard work? Chapter 398 Uchiha Obito's plan. Stop staring, the eyeballs will come out. Uchiha Izumi patted Karen on the shoulder. HMPH, the task is important. After completing the task, I will duel with you. Karen said angrily. Uchiha Izumi chuckled. Karen is no match for her. Under Rinnegan, Uchiha Izumi is sure to take down Karen within a few moves. Let's go to the land of rain first. Karen angrily walked forward. Seeing this, Uchiha Izumi grabbed Karen directly, and said, actually, there is no need to bother. Akatsuki's intelligence officer is White Zetsu, and White Zetsu's clones are almost all over the ninja world. As long as you find a White Zetsu clone, are you afraid that you won't be able to find Wu-wei? King Emu's whereabouts? Karen gave Uchiha Izumi a surprised look. I didn't expect you to be stupid. You're pretty smart. Uchiha Izumi glanced at Karen blankly. Did she think she was stupid before? Karen was uneasy at the sight of Uchiha Izumi, so he quickly changed the subject. Let's find White Zetsu's clone first. Although White Zetsu's clone strength is not very good, but his ability to hide is not low. If ordinary people will definitely not find White Zetsu. But it's easier for Karen and Uchiha Izumi. Observation Haki and the others will also, especially Karen, her Kagura mind combined with observation haki, becomes more powerful. Soon they found a clone of White Zetsu. White Zetsu, tell us the location of the five-tailed King Mew. Uchiha Izumi said coldly. Uchiha Izumi's expression is cold when facing other people. White Zetsu looked at them dumbfounded. He didn't expect that he was so well hidden and found out. He really deserved to be the person beside Chen-sama. The face of Uchiha Izumi's questioning, White Zetsu immediately told them the location of King Wue Mew, who made the person behind these two people as Hyuga Chen. You're acquainted, get out. After sending the White Zetsu clone, Uchiha Izumi controlled the repulsion and took Karen into the sky. Rinnegan is just different, so much better than using moon steps. Karen looked at Uchiha Izumi enviously. Moon step is very stamina and can't be used for a long time, but Uchiha Izumi uses Rinnegan's repulsive flight to consume less. And it flies very fast. After Uchiha Izumi and Karen left, White Zetsu wiped away the cold sweat that didn't exist, and hurriedly passed the message back. Tailed beast to their Akatsuki is self-evident, and now the two girls beside Hyuga-chan suddenly ask about the whereabouts of the five tails. Is that the order of Hyuga-chan? Will it affect their plan to capture the tailed beast? Of course these are not his headaches, he is just a small clone. The headaches are Heavenly Path Pain and Uchiha Obito, plus White Zetsu main body. White Zetsu's clone passed the news to Pain, and Pain's face was dead serious after receiving the news. They had just sealed 1 tail, 2 tails, 3 tails, and 4 tails, and were about to attack Wue who was wandering in the ninja world, but suddenly such bad news came. No one can stop my plan, not to mention the other party is not Hyuga Chen, but just the 2 women around Hyuga Chen. Pain said coldly. Pain initiated Akatsuki's summoning order, summoned all Akatsuki's people, and told them about the current situation. Boss, you also know my relationship with Chen, and I quit this mission. Naoki walked away dashingly. Since Naoki and I are teammates, he doesn't participate in me and I don't participate. Kakuzu gave Pain a deep look, then turned to leave. Kakuzu, who has lived for so many years, is not a fool, and his instinct tells him that it is better not to swim in the muddy waters this time. What happened to the 2 of them? Isn't it just a Hyuga Chen? What's there to be afraid of? Deidara said. Aren't you talking a lot, Ah-Fei? Why don't you talk now? Deidara turned to look at the abnormal Ah-Fei. Ah-Fei is Uchiha Obito. At this time, he came to the stage completely, but except for those who really knew Ah-Fei's identity, everyone else thought that Ah-Fei was just a funny character. Huh, what did Deidara-senpai say? I just fell asleep and didn't hear it. The corners of Deidara's mouth twitched. If she wanted to find a reason, she had to find a better one. How can you sleep while standing? At the same time, Deidara felt that this Ah-Fei was a little abnormal. This guy's strength was definitely not as good as he showed. When he was out on a mission with Fei, Deidara had deliberately used clay bombs to infect him, but the guy was intact. Being invited to Akatsuki by Pain already shows that he is not easy. It seems that I can't underestimate this stupid idiot, Deidara said secretly. We need to catch Wue first before those 2 women, and start moving now. Pain said lightly. At the same time, Nagato came out. In order to complete the task quickly, this time he had to do it himself. The boss is actually going to do it himself. Deidara was very surprised. Since joining Akatsuki, he has never seen Pain's strength. Even the fact that Heavenly Path Pain was just a puppet was what Sasori of the Red Sand told him before. Seeing Pain's body, Deidara suddenly thought of Sasori. Now that Deidara felt that it was good to be a partner with Sasori before, but Sasori was dead now. Pain left the Akatsuki base with Deidara, Uchiha Itachi, Kisame Hoshigaki and Ah-Fei, rushing over according to the positions they had been given before. Boss, what about Senju Naoki and Kakuzu? Deidara asked. The 2 of them should be regarded as escaping, right? I'll take care of this, you just do your own thing. Nagato said lightly. Oh, Deidara pouted angrily. Why didn't the two of them use it? Come on, you must find Wu-wei before the two women, otherwise it will be really troublesome. Nagato reminded. At the same time, Nagato increased his speed and kept a long distance from the people behind him. Uchiha Obito, who was behind, fell into deep thought. He knew that Hyuga-chen and Uchiha Madara should be collaborators, but why did Hyuga-chen suddenly intervene? I heard that the Five Tails are Hyuga-chen's psychic beast, maybe that's the reason. Uchiha Obito thought to himself. But after thinking about it, it feels wrong. Wu-wei is Hyuga-chen's psychic beast, so he can completely channel Wu-wei. Why send two women to find Wu-wei? Uchiha Obito blew his head off, but in the end he couldn't figure out why. Facing Hyuga-chen is too passive, it seems that we must find a way to restrain Hyuga-chen. Uchiha Obito's eyes flickered. Suddenly Uchiha Obito had a plan in his mind. Those two women must be very important to Hyuga-chen. If you catch them, can you use them to restrain Hyuga-chen? Well, Uchiha Obito didn't think about how to beat Izumi and Karen at all. With Uchiha Obito's strength, do you still want to catch Izumi and Karen? Akatsuki's people together are not enough. Chapter 399 Five Tails Choice. Is this the place for the Five Tails to stay? In the deep mountains and old forests, this guy really knows how to hide. Izumi and Makoto were walking in the woods, the fallen leaves rustled when they stepped on them. It's useless to hide. It hasn't been found by White Zetsu, but White Zetsu is indeed capable of finding the Five Tails. Such a remote place, White Zetsu can still find Wu-wei, and White Zetsu's ability to collect information is really not covered. In fact, White Zetsu was able to find Wu-wei because Wu-wei likes to run around. Although it is hidden, it will run out from time to time, so White Zetsu discovered his whereabouts. If Wu-wei stayed here and didn't run around, it would be difficult to find Wu-wei no matter how large the White Zetsu army was. Walking into the depths of the forest, they finally saw King Mew with five tails. Although the five tails were not ugly, they were not good-looking either. The tailed beast looks weird, Karen snarled. Okay, I feel like asking if it wants to come with us, if not, we'll go back. Uchiha Izumi went out. Their task is very simple, it's all about coming out and having fun. I really don't know why they are given this task, it's like teasing them. In fact, Hyuga-chan wouldn't have sent them here if it wasn't for the two of them rolling around on the ground and fighting with each other in a very unimaginative manner. Human, Five Tails, who was sleeping on his stomach, was awakened. In fact, it should have been able to detect Izumi and Karen in advance. However, the leisurely life for many years has made him forget to be vigilant. A beast is a beast. Who are you? Why are you here? Get out of here quickly, or I'll eat you all. Wu-wei opened his mouth wide and frightened. Just you still want to eat us, go and eat dirt for me. Karen shouted loudly, then jumped onto King Emu's head, clenched his fist and slammed it down. With a muffled sound, the trees were blown down by the raging wind, and King Emu's entire head fell to the ground. See if you dare to yell and eat us. Karen snorted softly. Wu-wei didn't move for a long time, and this punch had already knocked Wu-wei King Mew. After a long time, King Mew with five tails pulled his head out of the ground, and the chakra on his body boiled like hot water. Karen frowned, then jumped away from Wu-wei King Emu's head, looking at Wu-wei with solemn eyes. It seems that these five tails are not without strength, their strength is not bad. I'm going to kill you. Wu Tai Mu Wang roared, his front feet lifted up and kicked towards Karen. The speed is too slow. Karen easily avoided the attack of the five-tailed King Mew. The foot of the five-tailed King Mew stepped on the foot, and the ground shook suddenly. The ground seemed to be hit by a meteorite, and the forest had been completely destroyed. What a powerful force! Uchiha Izumi floated in the air using gravity, and was a little surprised by the explosive power of King Mew of Wu-wei, which was indeed very powerful. Karen, can you fix it? Do you need me to control it? Uchiha Izumi asked. No, I can fix it myself, Karen said confidently. Seal art adamantine sealing chains. Countless chakra chains stretched out from Karen's back, and the chakra chains flexibly bound the five-tailed King Mew. No matter how strong the explosive power of the five tails is, they can't break free from the shackles of the chakra chains, and they are finally tied into Zongzi by Karen. I thought it would take a lot of work, but I didn't expect it to be solved so easily. Karen said with a smile. If it were me, I could subdue it with a glance. Karen, you're still too weak. Uchiha Izumi fell from the air. What's so great? You are older than me. Karen said with a pouted mouth. Who the hell are you? Wu Wei asked again, but this time his tone was much better, and the lesson just now had made him sober. Since it is not an opponent, it is still obedient. The person who knows the current affairs is Junji. Five Tails, Brother Chen asked us to come. Would you like to go back with us to see Brother Chen? Karen said. Brother Chen? What Brother Chen? It doesn't know any Chen brother at all. Wait, could it be Hyuga Chen? You're talking about Hyuga Chen? Wu Wei asked uncertainly. If Hyuga Chen really wanted to find it, just use the psychic technique, why bother? Five Tails, now I'll give you two choices. One is to follow us to the land of water now, and the other is to still be so free, but your life and death have nothing to do with Brother Chen. Looked at Uchiha Izumi and started to think in his heart. In fact, there is no need to think about it. Wu Wei has already made a decision long ago. What a joke to go to meet Hyuga Chen in the land of water. How free it is. Why did it go to Hyuga Chen? Wu Wei chose the second zero without any hesitation. I won't go to the country of water with you. Even if Hyuga Chen comes, I won't compromise. Wu Wei said stubbornly. Of course, if you really see Hyuga Chen, it is estimated that the five tails will not even dare to fart. Looking at the two girls with expressionless faces, King Mew of the Five Tails was uneasy in his heart. Would they become angry and beat themselves violently? When was the tailed beast so humiliated? The incarnation of the so-called disaster was actually afraid of the two little girls, and the Five Tails felt humiliated for themselves. Since you chose, don't regret it. Karen took back the chakra chains, and the Five Tails didn't go back with them, and they wouldn't force it. Our mission has been completed, let's go. Wait, you guys get out of here. Karen's eyes were cold, and even the glasses couldn't stop it. Uchiha Izumi also glanced around indifferently. Akatsuki personnel, who had just arrived to hide, came out of the shadows. You caught the Five Tails, right? Now the Five Tails are right there for you to catch, but don't get in our way. Uchiha Izumi said lightly. Nagato's eyes flickered. On the way here, the masked man had already talked to him and wanted to arrest the two women and threaten Hyuga Chen. Nagato thought about this plan, and then agreed, so they won't let it go at this time, because at this time their two daughters are Nagato's target. The five-tailed King Mew has been ignored, and the King Mew, who felt that something was wrong, immediately ran away at 2.5, and the speed was unimaginable. Wu Tai Mew Wang's instant burst can be said to be the strongest, and he ran away without a trace. Nagato looked at it and didn't care. The Five Tails couldn't run, and now their primary target is the two women in front of them. Karen and Uchiha Izumi looked at each other. Their eyes became colder and colder. It seemed that these guys wanted to die, but they actually aimed at them. Boss, the Five Tails have already run away. Why don't you go and capture the Five Tails first? Deidara asked. Shut up, Deidara. Now the goal is to arrest these two women. Ah Fei said indifferently, without the teasing he pretended to be before. Ah Fei, how dare you talk to me like that? Deidara said with anger on her face. Although he knew that Ah Fei's strength might not be easy, he couldn't bear it if he dared to talk to him like this. Chapter 400 Akatsuki fleeing in embarrassment. Ah Fei, do you want to be bombed by me? Deidara said gloomily. Enough, stop arguing, Nagato said indifferently, with unquestionable words in his words. Deidara looked at Nagato in front of him and calmed down temporarily, but Deidara would not forget about it. After the mission is over, Deidara will definitely let Ah Fei see the most beautiful fireworks and the art of explosion. Catch them first before anything goes wrong. Nagato looked at Karen and Uchiha Izumi indifferently. Uchiha Itachi frowned at the Uchiha family crest on Uchiha Izumi. Is this woman from the Uchiha family? But why never saw it? Uchiha people living outside. You stinky sweet potatoes also want to catch us and see how I teach you. Karen roared, and then entered Sage Mode. But being able to enter Sage Mode in an instant, this shows that Karen's Sage Mode is much more proficient than Jiraiya. Senpo, Sage Art Shuriken. A huge shuriken was thrown out by Karen, and the huge shuriken made a harsh sound. The whirlwind of Shuriken destroyed everything, and the Shira Road and Hell Road standing in front of 08 were instantly destroyed. The Hungry Ghost Road became a stone statue because it absorbed the Shuriken containing Sage Art Chakra, which can also be said to be abolished. One blow destroyed 3 of the Pain 6 paths, shocking Akatsuki's people. How is it possible that there is such a powerful ninjutsu? Kisame Hoshigaki was shocked beyond description. The Shuriken used in Sage Mode is indeed powerful and can be said to be the strongest S-rank attack ninjutsu, infinitely close to Super S-rank. The Art of Psychic. Animal Road directly psyched out powerful ninja beasts. These ninja beasts roared, and then swarmed up. Rinnegan was used by you like a piece of trash. Uchiha Izumi's eyes turned into deep purple Rinnegan, and then he stretched out his hand and pressed down, instantly destroying all the ninja beasts, along with the beasts. What? This is Rinnegan. How is that possible? Isn't this world the only one with Rinnegan? A series of question marks flashed through Nagato's mind. It's actually Rinnegan who is the same as the leader. It's hard to do. Kisame Hoshigaki pulled out his shark muscles and looked ahead vigilantly. The most surprising is Uchiha Obito. Looking at the extra pair of Rinnegans, Obito was shocked beyond words. How did you have Rinnegan? Obito asked gloomily. Why can't I have Rinnegan? I have to explain it to you. Uchiha Izumi sneered, and the huge repulsion instantly knocked them out. Itachi, what do I do now? Kisame Hoshigaki asked, clutching his chest, looking at Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi shook his head and bit Kiba to support his body. He is not feeling well now, and his internal organs have shifted. I don't need my shot at all. Karen stood behind Uchiha Izumi. Now Uchiha Izumi can beat them without Karen's shot at all, but it's still a bit difficult to destroy them all. Clay bomb, explode it for me, drink tilde. There was a loud bang, except for the dirt and dust, it didn't hurt Uchiha Izumi and Karen. Your strength is too weak. Bansho Tenon, universal pull. A gravitational force acted on Deidara, and Deidara's body flew towards Uchiha Izumi uncontrollably. Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push sign. Before using the Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push sign, Izumi took out a handful of Chinban and threw it out, and then under the strong repulsion, the power of the Chinban that was not very lethal was greatly increased. Dozens of thousands of holes penetrated Deidara's body, and then a powerful repulsion hit Deidara at the same time. Deidara didn't even get a chance to say her last words. Looking at Deidara's body, Akatsuki others were silent. Powerful, really powerful, Deidara was almost instantly killed. Although they think they are stronger than Deidara, they won't be strong enough to kill Deidara in seconds. Facing someone who can kill Deidara in seconds, they probably won't be much better. And Akatsuki's people, except for Uchiha Obito, were not injured, including Nagato, who were wounded by Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push. Nagato feels very uncomfortable now that he was injured by his own ninjutsu, and Shinra Tensei, Almighty Push, is his best ninjutsu. Nagato described himself as a god, but he was instantly destroyed by 4 avatars, which made him a little ashamed and angry. The biggest blow to Nagato is that besides him, there is actually Rinnegan, which means that he is not special, and Nagato is confused. Uchiha Obito clenched his fists tightly, and gave up his original plan to capture these 2 women to threaten Hyuga-chen. These 2 women were not something he could catch at all. Retreat first, then take the long view, Uchiha Obito said. After saying that, Uchiha Obito ran away with no discipline, and Uchiha Obito ran faster than anyone by relying on space ninjutsu. That hateful guy actually ran away, but it's not that easy for you to run away. Karen stopped staring, and immediately shot. More than a dozen chains were like whips, making a cracking sound in the air, and the trees were hit by the chakra chains, and they were immediately broken as if they were chopped by a knife and an axe. The remaining 3 of Akatsuki, plus the 2 puppets Heavenly Path and Human Road, fled into the distance like bereaved dogs. But the chakra chains followed them like maggots in the tarsus, faster than them. The slowest Human Path was tied up first, and then strangled to pieces in an instant. The remaining Nagato and Uchiha Itachi were fast, and nothing happened. Kisame Hoshigaki was a little unlucky. 440 was chained by chakra and left a deep bloodstain on his back. Kisame Hoshigaki didn't dare to stop at all, and at the same time secretly thanked that he had the shark muscle behind his back, otherwise it might not be as simple as an injury. Let them run away. Karen angrily scattered the chakra chains. It's all right, just run. I never thought of killing them anyway. Izumi patted Karen's shoulder and said. If Izumi really wanted to kill them, at least Kisame Hoshigaki could be left here, but Izumi didn't want to kill them. Let's go back. I'm still waiting for Brother Chen's reward, Karen said, holding Izumi's hand. Thinking of the reward, Karen's excitement couldn't calm down at all. Do you want to be so excited? Izumi gave Karen a look of contempt on Yuhi's face, but Karen turned her back with contempt. Do you really think I can't feel the excitement in your heart? Aren't you afraid of defaulting on your debt? Besides, his big bad guy doesn't seem to have promised us, right? Izumi poured a basin of cold water on Karen, which made Karen feel cold. Shut up for me. Fly me back quickly. You said what would happen if I left you here. Izumi smirked suddenly. You dare. Karen's eyes suddenly became anxious. Well, Izumi is just joking. She can't really throw Karen here, otherwise she will definitely be cleaned up when she goes back.